Good evening and welcome to Kirtland High School for the third of our 4 Chagrin Valley Conference Winter Sports Media Days. We are back at Kirtland for the Central Area teams, and we were due to close out our Media Day tour tomorrow at Edgewood, but due to the impending winter storm, we have moved that date to Monday, so our 4th Media Day will be on Monday at Edgewood. And today we're back here at Kirtland for the second time. And up first are the Kirtland Hornets Wrestling, the wrestling team. So Coach Scott Francis is here. We're going to go ahead and introduce him, let him introduce the wrestlers he brought with him, and then just kind of give us an elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Hornets this year?
Okay, so with me today I got Ian Borthwick, I got Gaetano Savelli, both seniors, 2 of our 4 seniors. And you know, the team this year, things are looking pretty good. We're pretty heavy in freshmen. Got about a dozen freshmen that are coming out. So we got about 20 guys overall. Our upperclassmen are all guys that have wrestled before. So looking forward to getting November over with and getting to December.
Numbers-wise, that's pretty solid, and nice to have a bunch of freshmen to work with. It kind of stinks that you graduated a big core group of seniors that you had for many years, and but now there are some open weight classes those young kids get to fill.
Right. No, yeah, the 3 seniors that graduated, they'll be glad to know it took a dozen guys to replace them. So that's how they'll look at it. But yeah, I mean it's good and bad. As a coach, you're looking at it, and obviously it's good for the future. But for this year, you get a lot of gray hair out of it.
Absolutely,
but it's worth it though.
So coming back, I know you've got some seniors, a couple of juniors, but kind of give us a rundown. You don't have to go weight by weight, but who are some of the guys that you're expecting to come out and look at that district run and hopefully that next step and get to state?
2 guys that were at districts last year are Gaetano Savelli and Luca Babic, 2 seniors. And they both placed 6th there last year, so they've both of them got real high hopes. Put time in the off season, and they're hoping that pays off for them. We got Ian here. Ian's been wrestling for quite a few years, and he's looking forward to. Last year he kind of bounced around in weight classes. He was wrestling kind of where Will wasn't, and it was a different season for him. He would be at 32, but then he'd be down at 26. Then he'd be at 38. He was all over the place. This year he'll have his weight class, and I think that's going to really help him a lot. Warren Eland, our other senior, he'll fit in probably about 144, I'm thinking, or 150, somewhere around there.
Still can't get used to the 144 after 30, 40 years of 145. That's tough.
Ask me the weight classes when I wrestled. I'll repeat them. Today's weight classes, I gotta go look at them.
Yep. 98, 105, 112. Yeah,
yep,
long. Yep. It's kind of like you remember your first address when you grew up in elementary school, but I can barely remember my address now.
Exactly. Don't ask me my phone number.
Exactly.
I never call it, so I don't need it.
All right, well, let's start talking to the guys, and then I'll come back to you, Scott, for a recap. Okay, Gaetano, go ahead and grab that microphone. And coming in senior year, obviously, you got to have a little bit of excitement for a new season, but it's also a little bit of anxiety because it's your last go-around. What are you feeling as you start this year?
I'm definitely feeling a bit of anxiety about it, but I also have a lot of confidence compared to prior years. I put a lot of time into this off-season, and I have every off-season during high school, but I feel like I've put in a lot of work. So definitely some anxiety, but I feel very confident for how it's going to end.
I see you already got some map marks on your nose there. That's what I miss about it, because at least you had a reason for walking around looking this way. It's like, oh, I was at wrestling practice, I got beat up. Now it's like, well, why do you look like that? Now it's, well, that's just natural. And so you got a good reason to walk around with some marks on your face. That's awesome. But so talk about the season so far. I mean, obviously a lot of new faces in there with a big group of freshmen. You lose that core group of seniors. What's the room been like?
We have a lot of new wrestlers in there, but I think it's a really good environment so far, a lot of good energy. All the freshmen are working very hard, and a few of them were even in the off-season trying to get better. And then me and Luca and Warren and Ian are obviously trying to, help give them some leadership. But yeah, so far it's looking really good.
I think as younger or lower weights, you guys got to wrestle with Will a lot, Will Davidson, and what he did over his 4 years, coming in as little, I don't want to pick on him, but Minnie Mouse as a freshman up to Mighty Mouse as a senior, just the way that he transformed his body and gained weight and the work that he put in. How did that kind of inspire you to come out and work hard and kind of follow in his footsteps?
I was actually his drill partner the past 2 years, so it definitely affected me a lot. You know, he has a different mentality in the wrestling room than a lot of people, and I'm kind of forced to follow suit with that, so I think that benefited me greatly, and it benefited everybody else the past few years greatly too, because, you know, when Will worked very hard in the room, it kind of made everybody else want to match him.
And then just the success that followed it, you get to see the reward for all that hard work, and I think that's where it kind of pays off a little bit, having a guy like that. Just, I mean, he was a guy, what did he weigh as a freshman? 78 pounds, 80 pounds? I mean, he was...
About 85, 90
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah, giving up 20, 25 pounds every time he wrestled, and just the way that he reshaped his body and hit the weight room and all that good stuff, and that's just the culture that he kind of helped to build here. And so now what's it like this year? I mean, you had those guys that had all that state experience, and now it's, you know, a new group in there. Are you guys, is the bar just as high as it's always been, or have you kind of adjusted that a little bit with so many new faces?
The bar is definitely as high as it's always been. And I think it's a good thing because it gives the freshmen and other new wrestlers something to strive for. We've definitely not lowered our standards because of the seniors graduating.
Looking at your season, what's on your list of goals? What are you hoping to accomplish this year?
That's kind of a tough question. Obviously, make it far into the state tournament, place very highly. But more than that, I just want to go out in my matches and not wrestle with anxiety. Last year I had a lot of trouble with the mental aspect of it. My goal is to not have that this year, so I think that would probably be my biggest thing to work for.
Sometimes that's the hardest part.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about some of the other guys in the room. Obviously, you work out with a bunch of guys. Who are some kids that have impressed you so far, and who are some of the guys you think are going to have a big year?
I'm very impressed. We have 3 freshmen who are all around 75, 80 pounds. I've never seen that before, but it's very impressive watching them in the room working. None of them have wrestled before, and I think it's motivating because they all try very hard. And then Eddie, sophomore.
Yeah.
I definitely have very high hopes for him. He kind of, freshman year wasn't that into it, but then he placed at sectionals, made his districts. And it kind of gave him a newfound respect for the sport, and he put in a lot of time this offseason, and I think he will do very well.
All right, sounds good. Ian, on to you. Now that you've got a solidified weight, how's that going to kind of help your preparation and work, where you don't have to kind of worry too much about, you know, fluctuating and bouncing up and down?
It's definitely going to be a change. Last year, spent a lot of the time on the bike and in the sauna, and that kind of just drained me mentally, physically. Wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping. It was tough to keep up with myself physically, and I think this year I'll just be in a better place.
And obviously it's early in the season, but now with that kind of solidified, has that kind of helped you go in and just kind of focus on drilling and technique as opposed to, oh man, I got to cut a couple pounds?
Yeah, this year, I mean, I'll cut a little bit at the beginning for the alpha test, just to make sure I can get a weight I want to go down to later in the season. But so far I haven't been doing a ton of wrestling. I've had that cross-country season that kind of left me with a few injuries, so we're still bouncing back.
Well, the good news about running cross country is you come in pretty well conditioned. That's always, you know, a hard part is just kind of getting into wrestling shape. How did cross country help that?
It definitely gets you about halfway there, but wrestling is like a whole different type of cardio than running, since it's just a whole different level.
All right, and then what are practices like now that Will's out of the room and there isn't a top dog in that middle to lower weights there?
Will was definitely a driving factor in the room, and he was definitely a leader. And us seniors are trying to step up and replace him, but I guess that can't be done, so we're just doing the best we can.
Yeah, those are big shoes to fill. But yeah, I mean, you know, as Gaetano said, as long as you're kind of following and, you know, being inspired by his work ethic and trying to, you know, follow suit there, that's got to bode well for you, you know, come March. But, you know, same question I asked him. Who are some of the guys in the room that you're drilling with and working with that have impressed you?
We have a freshman named Ben Sherman. It's his first year out. I don't know if he'll stick with it, or he might, but he's big into hockey, so he's got this combat style to him already, and his stance and shot are already better than mine, which is, that's not saying much, but...
He had a nice cross-country season too, right?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yep, so, all right. Who are some other guys?
Jerry Zavko today, he was showing some promise with his moves, and Gaetano's helping him out a lot, and he's really improved since last year.
All right, and then just what are your goals? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Every year, I just try to get a little further through the rankings, I guess. I'm not looking for anything special, but just want to get out there and give everything I've got for my last season.
All right, good luck to you. Coach, back to you. These guys are mid-weights to low weights, so we talked about a lot of those guys. Who are some of the upper weights or middle weights to upper weights that you're counting on this year?
Heavyweight, we have Otto, he's junior, he's played football, has an injury from football, so he'll be out for a few weeks, but I know he's done a lot with lifting over the summer, and he's going to come back really strong. We're looking for it. He's a good-sized heavyweight. He's all of 285. He's probably about like 6'2", 6'3". He's a big boy, and when he has that strength now, it's going to make a big difference for him. Jerry Zofko Jr. will be at 215. 190, we have McGuire Boyd coming back out this year. He wasn't able to wrestle last year. He had an injury from football. We kept him out for all of wrestling and baseball too. So he'll be back out this year at 190. We're really looking forward to having him in there. And then there's Luca Babic, and you got Gaetano up there. And we talked about Gaetano saying he was drilling with Will last year, but Gaetano's he's not that weight anymore. He's put on some size this year, so he's one of the upper weights now, which is kind of strange feeling for him. Those are our upper guys. Lower guys, like you said, we got those 3 small freshmen. They're well under 100 pounds, but over years you take those light guys now as freshmen because they grow over time, and they're going to fill weight classes and just use this year to work on technique and get better. That size and strength will come.
Right, and just to interject there, I mean, they have a great example to follow, Will Davidson, and just to see him go from an 85-pound freshman to a kid that multiple state tournament appearances and places, so they don't have to look far for inspiration.
Right, and also from last year, you had Brennan Burrow and Anthony Giancarelli. Those two, they were great in the room also.
Yep.
And we used to say it all the time last year. You really couldn't single out any one of those guys. I mean, outside the room, you might have seen one more than the other, but in the room, those 3, they all worked hard. They put in so much time outside of our room that they couldn't even add up the hours of what they were putting in. They all 3 of them did a great job of setting a great example for these guys.
Absolutely, and then that was the core I was talking about, and in the lightweights in particular, because these guys are here, and Gaetano obviously added some weight, but yeah, Brennan and Anthony, I mean, just what they did for Kirtland Wrestling over the last 4 years was outstanding.
Yeah.
So
and so like I said, we got those freshmen, and they're like Gaetano was saying, they're back there, they're working hard, and we're gonna get them into shape. We're really working on a technique, and that's probably the main thing we got to work on this year is really get that technique. So because as a freshman, you don't have as much strength as upperclassmen, but technique beats strength, and so that's what they're going to be relying on this year.
right. And I was looking at your schedule. Looks like a couple of changes. I know you used to always go out to Kinston. Are you not out there?
No, we're back at Kinston.
Oh, okay. I must have overlooked that.
If you're looking at Arbiter is always
that's what it was.
Yeah, that's always a little bit behind. No, we're back at Kinston again. Probably the one new tournament we go into this year is down at Twinsburg. It'll be a pool tournament on a Friday, which is a little bit different, but there's going to be some good teams down there. Looking forward to going down there, but everything else is pretty much the same.
And with pool tournaments, with a younger roster, those are a little bit better. More matches opposed to 2 and out and watching everybody for.
Right. With pool tournaments, I mean, any tournament that's a double elimination is probably about at least 40 years old. Nobody establishes a tournament nowadays and it's double elimination. Every tournament nowadays is pool, and because it helps your younger guys, they get their 5 matches guaranteed, but your better guys, they're going to get into that double elimination bracket and see the better wrestlers. So it kind of helps out both. But a double elimination tournament, that pressure of having to win or you're in the stands, that's you can't beat that. And that's why I like going to Kinston. You got to learn to win, so you're not up there and watching everybody else.
Yeah, you always want some of those tournaments, the good ones. It's just you've got to go in and be at your best every match, or else you're going to be in that losers bracket.
or worse.
Yeah, right. And then with a pool, obviously, you can have a setback and still come out on
Right.
top, but.
That's kind of the drawback. It allows you that luxury of having a bad match where
Right.
when you get to sectionals, especially district state, and you don't have that luxury.
Yep, you got to be prepared. So, all right, what's going to be success at the end of the year? How are you going to look back and say, hey, yeah, we had a great year? What's it going to take?
Ooh, that's always a tough question. I really don't know right now. I mean, we've got a few guys that are looking, want to be down at the state tournament. I think guys, like Ian here can definitely get out the districts, win matches. You get to districts, you win 2 matches. All of a sudden that next match is your go-to match.
Yep.
You win 3 matches, you can get down to the state tournament, and Ian's capable of that. We've got a few other guys that are capable of that. So as of right now, to say these are definitely our goals, I'm not ready to go that far, especially with the freshmen we got that are going to be in the lineup. I know our freshmen, we're going to be taking them to a lot of JV tournaments this year. Our upperclassmen, we'll have them at varsity, so we're going to have a lot of split team stuff going on, even on the same day, which will be different for us. But,
Right.
It's what we got to do.
And it's really good to have that opportunity for those younger
Well,
kids.
They need it.
Right.
Yeah, they need it. 'Cause if you feed them to the wolves, some guys can handle it, but nowadays, I think you lose a lot of kids
Yep,
like that.
and if you look at 7, 8 years ago, that's what was happening. The kids would come out as first-year wrestlers, and
Yep.
they're going to the Kinston tournament and getting pounded on, and it's like, I don't think I'm going to come back next
Right,
year,
yeah,
coach.
You grab the number 2 seed first round, and this is no fun.
Exactly, it changes things in a hurry. But yeah, so that's good that they've got that opportunity, and hopefully it pays off. And all right, well, that's a great kickoff for our Kirtland Media Day here. Appreciate you guys being here. Best of luck to
Thanks
you.
for having us. Thank you very much.
All right, that was the Kirtland Hornets wrestling team here kicking off our 3rd CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the Kirtland girls basketball team, and I know they're here. They stepped out in the hallway, so they should be back here momentarily, but that gives us a moment to go ahead and recognize our presenting sponsor for CVC TV, which is Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery. So we're going to go ahead and recognize them right now, and then the Kirtland Hornets girls basketball team will be here to join us.
Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to Kirtland High School for the 2022 CVC Winter Sports Media Day. This is the 3rd of 4. We started out here at Kirtland on Sunday. We were at Independence yesterday, and back here at Kirtland today for the 2nd of 2 Central Area Media Days. We were scheduled to close things out tomorrow at Edgewood. Mother Nature had other ideas, so we pushed that date to Monday. So our 4th Media Day event will now take place on Monday at Edgewood. But back here at Kirtland, we've got the Kirtland Hornets girls basketball team, new head coach Matt Ridgway. Coach, thanks for being here. Go ahead, introduce the girls you brought with you, and then just give us an elevator pitch of what we can expect out of the team in your first year coaching the girls.
Well, we have Marissa Carmesino here, and she's a senior. She played the last couple years here, and she was a big part of last year's success, and we're really looking forward to Marissa doing her thing on the court. She's a warrior. She plays hard. She's a team player, and we're excited to have her. So we're really very thankful. And then we have Corinne Greenlee. So this is the end of the Greenlee family, and
Heck of a run.
It has been. They've had a lot of success in the family, and Corinne is she's going to be the general of the team. And we're just really thankful to have her. She's a great point guard, and I'm going to fight and say this. I think she's the best point guard in the league, but I don't know any other point guards. So I'm going to be biased with the kids I have. I love these kids. They're great kids, but also they're multi-sport athletes, and I should rephrase that and say they're multi-sport student athletes. So they do it in the classroom too.
All right, so obviously you're not new to coaching, you're not new to Kirtland, but it is your first year with the girls after coaching the boys for about 10 years. And how different has it been coming in now that you got a few weeks under your belt with the girls?
It has been different. It's just a different mindset. there's a lot of things that are different with it, but the X's and O's, you know, those are the same. But honestly, we haven't even talked about X's and O's, have we? We really haven't. We thought, you know, we could draw up any play that we want. We got to be able to shoot, pass, dribble, catch, you know, get in triple threat, learn the fundamentals first, and then the ball will hopefully go in the basket in February, really, you know. So, but the sooner the better. But you know, so we're really just concentrating on little things right now, and we're trying to build the numbers, right? And you know, we're at 23 kids right now, 9 through 12, and so we're really excited about that. You know, just looking forward to the future as well.
All right. Offensively, what's the game plan? Without giving away your secrets, what you know, a lot of teams like to slow things down and work in the half court. Others like to push the pace, play full court. What are you going to try and do?
To be honest with you, we don't really know that quite yet. We really just started Monday. So, you know, we had, 6 days last week and a couple days this week. So, you know, we gave the kids time off from soccer and volleyball. And it's our job to kind of figure out where to put them on the floor. But we have one rule on offense, and that's just pass to the open girl. So our objective right now, we're gonna be very simple. We're gonna be good at what we do, but it's gonna be a simple task, and you know, that's our philosophy, is just be very simple and execute.
And defensively, going back 2 decades, Kirtland's hung its hat on defense and just being just like a hornet flying around your head and, you know, being a bug. And is that the game plan again?
Yeah, we're gonna use our athletes. You know, I mean, in having numbers, it's created competition in practice, so that helps. But definitely, we're going to use, I don't know if we're going to go man or zone or we're going to trap here and there, but I know this, we're going to get after, we're going to pressure the ball. You know, but we're definitely going to try to utilize our athletes. And, you know, our simple game plan on defense is guard your girl.
All right. Sounds good. I will come back to you, Coach, after we talk to the girls. Corinne, go ahead, grab that microphone and make sure your black switch is up. And just for the folks at home, introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Hi, I'm Corinne Greenway. I'm a senior this year, and I'm my grade.
All right. So coming off, we first have to recognize your accomplishment. Coming off the soccer season, you were just announced first team All-Ohio, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How nice is that to complete your career that way, even though you probably wanted to complete it a different way, but settling for All-Ohio isn't such a bad consolation prize. How nice was that?
Yeah, I mean, that was my individual goal. Me and Brad had talked about it, and I'm just glad that this season I was successful, the team was successful, and did what I needed to do.
Senior year of soccer, you were the field general out there, and now you're coming to basketball and you're the court general. Obviously 2 different sports, but are there some similarities in the way that you have to kind of command an offense?
Yeah, I mean, totally, both of them you have to keep your head up, and I just know that in soccer I'm good at keeping my head up and looking for the open girl, and it's just the same thing in basketball. I'm just looking for people making runs and keeping my head up.
4 years ago, you were a wide-eyed freshman coming out playing some varsity minutes, and here you are a senior. It went pretty quick, but I mean, do you feel like a different player from 4 years ago?
Yeah, I was very timid as a freshman. It's scary seeing all these seniors playing against like 18-year-olds when you're 14, so being on the older end of that now and growing a few inches, it's definitely a new perspective, and I'm just ready to go out and not be afraid.
Coaching change, transitions can be hard. Obviously, having Coach Ridgway have a daughter in the program, he's been around, he knows all the girls. How has that kind of helped that transition? Just you don't have to wear a name tag at practice and get to know each other, since you guys are already, everybody knows everybody already.
Yeah, he's great, and obviously him having a daughter on the team, she's definitely talking to him, telling him what we're feeling and stuff, and it's definitely just like already a strong connection, and I can only see it getting stronger throughout the season. What's
it going to take for Kirtland to be successful this year? Defend that Valley Division title, make another run in the postseason?
I just think that we work hard at practice, we give it all of our effort, so if we just hustle on the court, play defense, like they can't score, then we can win games. So
here's a chance to talk about some of your teammates. Who's impressed you in practice? You've been there a week, so.
Yeah, definitely for starters, Natalie Clough. I mean, her coming out for her first year, she hasn't played in 5 years, and she's doing such great things in practice. And our scrimmage the other day, like she just knows that she's big and she needs to get that ball in the hoop. So she's impressed me, and then everyone's just been working on their shot. Bryn, Braddock, Emily, like, we're working on our shot and we're getting better. So we're doing really good.
All right. What goals do you have for yourself for senior year, individual and for your team?
Individually, I think I want to get better at free throws. Last year was not my best year with free throws, but I think that I want to get better at that, and then just help out my team as much as I can and be a leader. And then as a team, I know that we're going to win a few games, so I'm looking to make a deeper postseason run. So yeah, I think we can do that.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Marissa, on to you. Go ahead and grab that microphone, flip your black switch up, and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Marissa Carmesino. I'm also a senior, and I'm a forward.
So Marissa, big contributor to the Kirtland volleyball team that made another run through the postseason. Came up a little short there in the district championship, but being a part of a team that went and won back-to-back district titles and played in the regionals, that's just unheard of at Kirtland. So you were part of a squad that changed the culture here in one sport. How can you do that for another here with basketball?
Definitely the key, I would say, to volleyball is just a lot of communication and hard work in the gym, really pushing each other, and knowing what we need to execute. And I think this year with the loss of many seniors last year, me and Corinne took their leadership, and we kind of know what to give to this team this year, and it's our year, and I think we're going to lead the team really good this year.
And for you, your season's going to start a little bit later than everybody else. Unfortunately, a little practice injury. So I don't know if anyone saw it when she walked in, but she had a little walking boot on. But so when does that come off?
About a month, I would say I'd be back.
Okay,
Maybe
so-
not too sure yet, but
So you miss a few games, but hopefully you get right back in there in the mix. But just looking at everything that's happening this year, you've got some influx of athletes. You played with Natalie Glow in volleyball, so you've got a little rapport with her already. You know the returning players. You've got some newer players, a new coach. How's that all coming together?
so it's definitely coming together. With the new coach, we're all really comfortable with Coach Ridgway. It's very fun at practice. And it's nice that, again, with Natalie and some other volleyball girls that are playing, it's good to have that connection, and also just regrouping again for the basketball season. It's nice.
And I asked Corinne about some of the other players. Here's your chance to kind of give your teammates a shout out. Who's impressed you at practice?
Definitely Bryn Braddock. She's improved a lot on her shooting. Emily Ridgway and Julia Fleming. She came in again. She hasn't played, I think, since 8th or 7th grade. And I know she wants to get back in the swing of things, and she's doing a great job.
So you've got a soccer player at the table who won a state title. We've got a volleyball player at the table who won back-to-back district titles, something that hasn't happened in Kirtland. I think they've been to one regional in school history prior to this little run. So now basketball, how can you guys take that next step? I mean, you've been to you've won sectional titles, you've won conference titles, but that elusive district title, what's it going to take for this team to put it all together and make that kind of a run?
Kind of just like what Corinne said, just really working hard in the gym, hustling on the court, just giving it our all and pushing each other when times get hard, knowing what we need to do. And also I think it most importantly kind of comes back to us just to lead the team in a good way and to show that we're Kirtland basketball and what we're capable of.
All right, and then how about your goals individually and as a team?
Individually, I would say nothing too specific, just I want to have fun and give it my all for my last year. And team goals also, just to have fun and to work together, just to have a good season.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Coach, back to you, just to kind of wrap things up. You got to hear from a couple of your players. With new coaches, you go to practice, you talk to the girls, you hear what they say, but you don't often hear the real part of what they're saying. So I got to ask them some questions about the transition, how things are coming together, and based on the phone call you and I had a couple weeks ago, it sounds like you're all on the same page. They're having fun at practice, but at the same time, they know it's a business meeting as well, and they have some goals. What do you feel after hearing what they said?
Those were interesting answers. I appreciate those questions, actually. But also, too, and I did say this when I wrote a message. Steve, what you do for kids is important. It really is. And I think all these girls, and I have not noticed this until you know, recently. You know, I have my own daughter too, but they work in silence. These kids work so hard in the off season. I see what the volleyball kids do. I see what Corinne did, in, you know, in our soccer workouts, and then you try to mix in basketball in the summer, and they're coming off the season and off the fields and off the courts. You know, they've exhausted everything. They've been a student as well. You know, we haven't even talked about what our goals are. We seriously just handed out our jerseys today. So honestly, our goal was right away is to have fun, and I noticed like the first week or so, whatever I said, sometimes I don't know if they took it serious. If I said a compliment, I don't know if they understood how to take a compliment. And that's what we've been working on, is just little things like that to say, we're honestly here about person first, player second. So it is maybe something you learn over time as a dad and maybe as a coach, you know, the experience that I've had a little bit. This is about having fun. We want kids to look back and say, wow, that was a great time for me. And I appreciate it, and I hope maybe one day when I become a mother that I'm going to talk my kid into persevering through, because basketball's tough. You got to be able to dribble, shoot, pass, catch, play in front of people, right? Some other sports you can hide a little bit here and there, take off a player or two. You know, you don't have to be in as great shape. This is a tough sport for kids, and I think maybe, and that's why it's declined a little bit, and that's why we talked about we're trying to be different. We're going to be great student athletes. We're going to bring our volleyball kids in. We're going to bring our soccer kids in. We're going to bring our cross-country kids in, and we're going to enjoy our moment. So that's really, I appreciate the question and I appreciate the answers, because we're on the same page.
And you kind of mentioned about athletes, and I think that's where Kirtland's success has come from. You look at the football team, sure, they have some great football players, but it's mainly a collection of athletes coming together as one team. Soccer, how many, Corinne, how many girls played club soccer? 3, 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Just a handful. And even when you guys, before we won the state title, it was just a handful. Same with volleyball. How many play JO? Now it's growing because it caught, you know, everyone's caught that volleyball bug and they want to be a part of it. But when I started covering Kirtland, it was 1, 2 girls were playing JO, and now everybody is. But every sport was just a collection of athletes, and the coaches put kids in the right situations and let them play. They didn't try to do too much, and you see it across the board. Every sport at Kirtland is growing, and the success is just, you know, unheralded. I mean, you come in and, I mean, the football success speaks for itself over the past decade or so. Same with soccer. Volleyball is creating it. And now you look at cross country and what the cross country girls have done in getting to regionals the last 2 years. So everything's coming around, and that's just a great collection of athletes, great coaches, and then that culture that's been developed. And I think if you guys can put that into motion here in basketball, I think similar things can happen.
Yeah, we're excited. So we don't need to be good in October or November. That's what I keep telling them. So in our scrimmage, we scored 3 points in the first quarter. Then we scored 9, and then we scored 17. And I'm like, okay, it's a lot more fun when the ball goes in the back.
Absolutely.
Right? But you know what? It's going to happen. And the more that we practice on our skill, and the more that we have fun together, we're gonna be okay by February.
Absolutely, and that's what I always tell people is you have 22 games, yeah, they count, but they're all scrimmages.
That's right.
Because if you're worried about winning 22 games in the regular season and you're not worried about that 23rd game, then it doesn't matter. So always think about that 23rd game and beyond, and if you get better and you win all 22, great. If you get better and you lose all 22, great. You just need to be playing good basketball come game number 23. So.
Yep.
All right, well, that is the Kirtland girls basketball team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Ladies and Coach, appreciate you being here, and best of luck to you. I will see you next week, I believe. You have, I can't remember now, I think Tuesday or Wednesday?
We play CCA Monday.
Monday, yeah, that one I was going to, and then we had to change Media Day, so now I had to push it back.
We play at Grand Valley when I think we return from break.
Okay,
So.
sounds good. All right,
Thanks.
thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Up next, we were due to have the Harvey Wrestling team. They had not arrived, so we're going to take a quick break, and we are going to wait for the Berkshire Badgers girls basketball team, who are due to air at 5:50 p.m. So we will have about a 15-minute break here, and we will be back. Thank you.
Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.
Right here. This is the main entrance. To your right. Are you Jeremy?
I am.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Steve. Nice to
Nice
meet
to meet
you. Hop on in.
you. In there. You want to make it just kids for now?
No, you hop in too. My good side's behind the camera. So All right, welcome back to Kirtland High School for the 2022 CVC Winter Sports Media Day. This is our third media day of 4. And up next, we've got the Harvey Red Raiders wrestling team, head coach Jeremy Patty. Coach, go ahead and grab that microphone, make sure that black switch is flipped up, and go ahead and introduce yourself and the wrestlers you brought with you, and then we will fire some questions at you.
Well, my name is Jeremy Patty. It's my second year back as the head coach. I was the head coach, first of all, from 2003 till 2008. Took a break to hang out with my children for a while, and this is my second year back as the head coach, and couldn't be happier with this group of guys we got, and girls. We got Melanie Herrera, senior. We got Angel Soto, senior. And we have Alvaro Serrano, junior. Our other captain, Robert Boykin, is on a college visit today, so shout out to Robert out there. But it's great to have a bunch of great, energetic leaders like these guys to help build our team back up. So
Yeah,
great to be here.
and just talking about the team, how's the depth looking, numbers-wise?
Well, last year was pretty rough because I was coming back thinking it was going to be like it was 12 years ago. And with COVID and everything, it was really hard to get people to even come to practice. And you know, it's like when you have 8 kids in the room or 9 kids in the room, it's like trying to golf without golf clubs.
Right.
You know, you can't practice golf without golf clubs. You need other people to wrestle with. So it was really difficult, and I was oof, what did I get myself into again? But this year so far has been so much better. We've had 32, 33 kids in the room.
Oh, that's great.
It's almost too crowded. I'm like, yes, great problem to have. So a lot of inexperience, but we've got some great leaders. And I think we all agree it's been pretty fun so far. We're looking to keep the positivity going. And, you know, we're teaching halves and we're teaching how to put on headgear, but we're having a great time and we're working hard. So.
Right, and the balance is you've got some experienced kids, you got a bunch of new kids, and the balance is trying to find out and drill them hard and give these guys, the new kids, a little opportunity to learn and go at their pace. So
we're structuring it where we have kind of a basic practice for the first hour and 15, and then anybody who wants to stay after, we get individual attention no matter what the level is. We have 3 great coaches that'll stay after as long as kids want to stay and provide that training that they need.
And how many stay?
You'd be surprised, quite a few, yeah.
That's great.
It's only been a couple days, so they're
Right.
just trying to get their sea legs on them, so to speak, but we've had a lot of kids that we've got to kick out of the room, so it's been encouraging, so.
Excellent. Yeah, and I know you guys have a big scrimmage on Saturday, 32 teams or so?
Something like that, yeah, it
That's-
wasn't my idea. I kind of fell on that schedule. I think the last couple of coaches thought we were like the mecca of wrestling, when I think we got to get a full lineup first. That's just me, you know.
That's great. Just
yeah, it's good.
Bring
It's
those
good for the
teams
sport.
in. Give all the kids, not just the Harvey kids, but everyone coming there. You get to see a bunch of kids from other schools, and you know it gets boring beating on your friends at practice every day. And you know, and I know Melanie's kicking butt out there, and nobody likes that. So give her some new guys to wrestle with,
Absolutely.
and it goes. And how many of the teams coming are girls teams?
I think there's a little bit of 5 or 6 or 8 of them are girls only, and 10 or 12 of them are boys only, and there's a lot of them that are bringing.
That are mixed. Yeah, that's great.
Originally we had 2 separate times for them, but we're gonna run them concurrently just based on the head count, so people don't have to be waiting around
Right.
if they're taking one bus out. But it should be exciting. So.
Yep, and I love the growth of the girls wrestling already. It's great to see, and I've been watching Melanie out for a couple years, and that's been a ton of fun. So, Coach, I'll come back to you after I talk to your wrestlers, but Melanie, we're going to start with you. Go ahead and grab that microphone and make sure your black switch is up, and then just introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
Okay, my name is Melanie Herrera. I'm in 12th grade, I'm a senior, and I plan on wrestling for boys 106 and girls 100.
Time flies, doesn't it? Seems like just yesterday we talked on the phone when you qualified for state for the first time, and boy, it flew by. So what's it been like, just this little whirlwind of wrestling success that you've experienced over the past couple of years?
Well, it's been fun. It's been chaotic, and I mean I'm learning every year, every day still, and I've accomplished a lot in these past 4 years, and I've been able to be a trailblazer for girls at Harvey at my school.
Absolutely. So when you first started wrestling, you had to wrestle boys. There wasn't a whole girls division, and now you have that. Are you going to kind of miss beating up on the boys?
Yeah, I will. I definitely will. I used to beat up on Angel
Oh,
all the time.
yeah.
But now I can't even score on him.
Well, that's good. That means he's gotten a lot better,
Yeah.
because you definitely have gotten better. So, you know, you don't want him to score on you if you want him to have some success. So that's good. But just seeing the growth in the girls, what does it mean to you, just knowing that you were kind of one of those at the forefront of pushing this sport?
Well, I have a lot of pride for doing that. I know that I kind of started this girls program, you know, and it's grown a lot since I've been there, and the girls are going there and getting better every single day.
How many girls are out at Harvey now?
I believe like 5.
Oh, that's great. Because I think it was just, I think there were 3 2 years ago, right? Is that?
2 years, yes.
Maybe it was just the 2.
It was 2 years.
Okay, right. All right, so now you've had some success at the state tournament, that type of thing. So what are you looking to do this year? How do you want to close out your high school career?
I want to go to state again, and I want to place maybe higher than what I did last year. And, you know, I want to go to these tournaments and keep doing what placing at all of these tournaments that I want to.
Are you going to wrestle more in boys' events or girls?
I think this year I'm going to wrestle more in boys, but I will still be going to girls stuff.
Excellent. And then who are some of the other girls? I'll ask the other guys about the boy wrestlers, but who are some of the girls that have impressed you?
Veronica Pacheco, she's my drill partner.
I remember her.
She catches on so fast. She's a great drill partner.
She's the next Mel, right?
Yeah. Her technique is great. Like, you teach her one thing and she's got it. And she doesn't give up, and she tries to be that good drill partner for me, because she might not be as experienced as I am, but she really does try. And I really appreciate that.
Excellent. One thing I can tell you is 2 years ago when I first talked to you on the phone, you were so quiet and shy, and this is what wrestling does. You're confident. Absolutely. It's great to see. Well, good luck to you this year. I look forward to seeing you back at the state tournament. All right, Angel, on to you. Grab that microphone, and same thing. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
Soto. I'm a senior and I plan on wrestling 120.
All right, so Angel, is it true she was kicking your butt?
She used to kick my butt every day, every single day.
Excellent. And so you've changed that, though. You've become a better wrestler. How did that happen?
So I just grew. I used to be like 20 pounds under her.
Ah, I
She would beat
see.
up on me.
So now it's just the physical nature. She's still a better technician, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she's getting better at techniques.
Good.
She's
All right.
pretty good.
What's your strength as a wrestler? What do you bring to the mat? How do you like the top, bottom, neutral? Where do you think you're at your best?
I think I'm like more funky.
You're one of those guys.
Yeah, but like also my speed
Okay.
helps me a lot. I like my stand-ups. They're pretty fast. And yeah,
All right.
my single leg.
So being a senior and seeing the numbers grow as a team, what does that mean to you? I mean, you've been putting in the work and hopefully recruiting some friends in the hallway, and just to see that the numbers grow, what does that mean to you as a senior?
It makes me happy. Cause like back then the sport wasn't popular. Now it's getting more popular over time. Thanks to Coach Patty putting that out there, influencing other kids.
Excellent. All right. And hopefully as seniors, you're influencing the younger ones as well, so they follow suit and keep passing it down and spreading the wealth and adding more kids to the program. All right. So here's your opportunity. Give a shout out to some of your teammates. Who has impressed you in the preseason here?
Shout out to Hyro. That's my favorite heavyweight.
You drill with them often?
Yeah. Ethan, he's a pretty good freshman.
We got a good freshman class coming up.
Okay.
Our other heavyweight, Marvin. Our other captain, Bob, he's not here. He's pretty good. That's all I got right now.
Okay. And what are your goals for the year?
My goal is to make it as far as possible as I can. Last year I only made it to districts. Hopefully I can make it to states.
Yep. Everybody wants to get to state. It's hard work. Knowing that you've had that experience at districts, I mean, you get there, it's you know, sectionals, you're nervous because your season could end.
Yeah.
You get to districts, you're eager about going to state. You're anxious because you might not make it, and you have all those nerves. Well, having that experience now, how does that help you, knowing that hey, if you get back to districts, you're a little bit more comfortable?
Well, since I got a taste of it, I now know what to work on. So like my lungs, because you know, I didn't have lungs last season. I need to eat better. But like, I'm not nervous no more.
That's good. And it's funny how all that works, getting the proper amount of sleep, eating right, training right. It's funny how it works towards success. It's good. I'm glad you've had that success. So best of luck to you again this year.
Thank you.
All right, Alejandro, right? Did I get that? Alvaro, I'm sorry. I thought I was close, but Alvaro, go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and weight.
I'm Alvaro. I'm a junior, and I go to Harvey, and I want to wrestle at 157.
57. All right, what'd you wrestle last year?
165.
Oh, so dropping a little bit. And what kind of success did you have last year?
I had the best season, but I'm ready to get back at it and do better than I did last year.
What did you learn last year that's going to help you this year?
We're going to cut in right there and say, Alvar had some grade troubles last year. So he's going to be the comeback wrestler of the year because his grades were not so hot he couldn't finish the season. Now he's hungrier than ever, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put words in your mouth. Okay, right?
And those are words you better repeat every day. So that's okay. You had some grade troubles. You get that fixed. You learn from it and move on. That's what sports is. You're going to...
Tell me what your grades now.
3.9.
Oh, absolutely fantastic.
Come back.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Good. Life's much easier when you do that. I always tell my kids, take care of the easy stuff now, because later in life, you know, if you don't take care of it now, later in life you're going to pay for it. And so it's a lot easier to take care of your homework now and do those things. But it's just like sports. And, you know, you had some trouble, you learned from it, you moved on. You're a better person because of it. As a wrestler, you might get pinned, you might give up a takedown, you might, you know, lose a match in the final seconds, but you learn from that, and hopefully you become a better wrestler because of it. But what's your strength? What do you like to do on the mat?
I like my high catches and my shots.
Don't give away any weaknesses. I don't want, you know, but obviously you want to go in, you want to minimize any weakness you have. So how do you do that? Like if you know that, hey, I'm a little bit weak defending a blast double or something like that, how do you fix things so that you get better at it and that weakness isn't so glaring anymore?
I work on it during practice with Coach Dog, Homebreak, and Patty, and my trail partner Angel or Ethan.
Wait, he's a 120 and you're 157 and you're drill partners? All right, all right. Angel, I like that. I always try to go with the bigger dudes too. It always helps. Good. All right. Talk about some of your teammates. Who's impressed you so far?
I like Ethan and Marvin and Ira.
All right. And what are your goals for the year?
I want to go to the district and just go on from there.
Keep going. All right. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Keep those grades up. All right, Coach, back to you. I like seeing that you addressed the grades and he responded the way he should have.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
sign of maturity right there. And like I said, you learn from your mistakes and move on. If you don't learn from them, that's the problem. So
Absolutely.
good, glad to see that. But you heard from your athletes. What'd you think about what they had to say?
I'm excited. I told the kids yesterday these were the best 2 practices I've had in the last year because it's just a whole new energy. And I'll give a shout out to my assistants, Coach Homerick, who's an English teacher in the building, has really helped me recruit kids and kind of he's on the other side of the building, he's a freshman English teacher. So that's huge having another wrestling guy in the building. I'm getting old, I mean, I look mean, just look at his face, I can't help it, that's what God gave me. But, and then our other coach is Coach Alonzo Turner. He just won his last amateur fight, he's 8-1, he's going pro. So I got a pro MMA fighter on my staff. I mean, how enticing is that to kids? Like, if I'm not tough enough, then how about this guy that could kick my butt? And so he's almost a better coach than he is an athlete. He's so patient. He breaks things down. He's a really caring, awesome guy to have around. He just brings great energy to the room.
Yeah, I loved covering him when he was wrestling at Harvey. He was so fun to watch.
He's turning into such an awesome person. And I had him when he was in youth wrestling.
That's great.
So what a cool story, right? He's a 5th grader. I'm teaching him how to do high crouches. Now he could choke me out in a minute, right? Isn't that funny? But we're so glad to have our assistant coaches, and I think you guys will agree it's a kind of a new vibe, right?
Yeah,
Feeling good. We'll keep it rolling, and then make it the cool thing to do, or one of the cool things to do at Harvey instead of a weird thing to do at Harvey.
Yeah. Well, I tell everybody, your soccer coach, your softball coach, basketball coach, everybody seems to be doing the right thing at Harvey, and I think the kids are responding, and I think that's why you see your numbers growing. When the kids see coaches that are apathetic, they're apathetic. But I think I said it on the media day on Sunday out here when we were at Kirtland, the culture shift is happening, and I think Harvey's a sleeping giant, and you guys are now shaking him and waking him up, and it's great to see.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that is the Harvey Red Raiders wrestling team. I'll see you guys Saturday morning out there at your scrimmage, but I appreciate you making the trip, and best of luck to you this year.
Thank you.
All right. That was the Harvey Red Raiders wrestling team, and up next we've got the Berkshire Badgers girls basketball team here at Winter Sports Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, our CVC TV presentation of Media Day is brought to you by Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Let's hear from them while the Badgers take their seats.
The Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
All right, here come the Badgers. This is the third of 4 Media Day events we've held this winter. We will close up shop on Monday at Edgewood, and that'll kick off our winter sports season here in the Chagrin Valley Conference. But up next, we've got James Bosley and the Berkshire Badgers. Coach, thanks for making the trip out here to enemy country. Nice little rivalry between the Badgers and Hornets and girls basketball. It's been going on for quite some time, and I think that's probably going to be the case this year as both of you fight for that Valley Division title. But Coach, go ahead and introduce the girls you brought with you, and then give us an elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Badgers this year?
Right now we have Lainey Wadsworth, junior Haley Stoddard, Maddie Trisket. There's 3 more on the way if they show up. Natalie Herring, Brooke Rachowski, and Caroline Cookling. Elevator pitch is just, you're going to get the same brand of basketball that we've been doing for the last 4 years that I've been here now. This is year 5. Like, these girls have been into everything. Oh, they're hustling in now. Come on, get in here.
All right. Let's see. Are we gonna fit?
Slide down.
Oh, I got one.
Kind of overloading the set here, but I mean, it's hard to leave any of them out because they're such hard workers. And I mean, that's what you're going to get from us every single night. Like, there's no easy game. Like, we have a tough schedule, and we're going to play every single night.
Coming out, obviously, that Valley Division's been back and forth for the last 5-6 years. I don't think any one team is really down. I think Kirtland's won a few.
Kirtland's kind of been the team to beat, and I think we were the first team to beat them last year, probably in the Valley Division.
For quite some time.
It was the first time we beat them in 10 years, I think it was.
Yep, and so it's a competitive conference. You've got, I think, more returners than anybody else. I think just
Grand Valley has quite a few returning also.
I haven't seen their preview yet.
I think they have 4 seniors, if I remember correctly.
So yeah, but the early returns looks like Berkshire might be the team to beat, at least based on what the coaches think. But you still have to go out and play the games.
We got to play every single game. I mean, that's how we practice every single day. We try to get better each day. And I mean, these girls hold each other accountable, and if they don't, I hold them accountable to get better every single day.
Outstanding. All right, let me talk to the players so that we can fit them all in before the next team gets here. But and then I'll come back to you, Coach, if we have some time. But Lainey, go ahead and grab that microphone and introduce yourself. Name, grade, and position. Flip that little black switch up.
We got you.
There you go.
I'm Lainey Wadsworth. I'm a senior. I play in the post mainly.
Lainey, it's hard to believe you're a senior already, but I mean, I've known you, watched you play sports since you were little, and coming out here as a senior, how different for it is you now that knowing that this is your last year of high school ball?
Yeah, it's crazy being the oldest, like some of the oldest on the court, and having a little bit more experience, like going through it, I guess. So it's kind of cool to see like how we've evolved since. You lost a couple of great seniors, but I imagine you learned a lot from that. Like Lydia Castor, she's been around for 4 years, 4-year starter, coming out and everything that she accomplished. What did you learn from her that's helping you be a great senior for your team? She taught me how to keep going through the tough games and just keep going and keep playing hard.
All right, give me your goals for senior year. What do you want to accomplish individually and as a team?
Individually, I just want to get better every day, and as a team, I want to hopefully bring that CVC title home.
All right, sounds good. Pass that over to Haley, and Haley, go ahead, same thing. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Haley Stoddard. I'm a junior, and I'm a forward.
So coming in, Haley, you're, I think, the tallest girl on the team, right? So you're going to do a lot of dirty work under the basket. You know, a lot of those players don't get the praise and all the accolades that come with the guards that score all the points. But you've got that ability to score, too. So it's not just pulling down rebounds. What is Coach looking for you to do this year?
I'm running the 4, so I'm actually not under the basket. And this summer we've been working on my shot, so hopefully get me out on the three-point line some and knocking down free throws.
Well, that'll be new. Have you been shooting 3? I haven't seen you shoot 3s.
It's new this summer.
Okay.
So all been worked on.
I like it. Yeah, you don't see too many people with your size hit behind the line and find that success. So that's a dangerous weapon to utilize. Take a moment here. Obviously, don't mention anyone at the table since we're going to talk to them, but who are some of the other teammates that have impressed you in the preseason?
Olivia Masing, she's a sophomore, and she was on JV last year, but she really stepped up this year. During the scrimmages, she's been getting a bunch of steals, and she's really good in the post.
And what are your goals for the year?
For me, I think my goal is to be 70%, 75% from the free throw line, and a team goal is just to win the CVC.
Sounds good. Good luck to you. All right, Maddie, I'm going to have to get a restraining order on you. You seem to be following me this week. Sunday, Monday, and now Wednesday. You're just, I seem to see you everywhere I am. It's scary, but I see the eye is still in good shape. I like it. You got to keep that for the All-Star game on Sunday. And like I said, if it goes away, you got to put some makeup on it and make sure it stays there. So, my gosh, another senior that it seems like 4 years ago, I mean, it flew by. How ready are you for this last year of high school basketball?
I'm very ready. I think we're going to do some great things this year, and we've been preparing, and I think it's going to go great. So I'm excited.
What's different about this team than teams you've had in the past?
I I feel like this year we gel really well. We have a lot of good team chemistry. Not that we didn't in the past, it's just I feel like this year, especially this group of girls, we have 5 seniors, and we've all played together for the past 4 years, so we kind of know what each other's next move is.
What Lydia was such a big part of the offense last year, and obviously she graduated. Who's taking that spot? I mean, those are big shoes to fill. You probably can't do it with one person, but is it a team approach, or is someone expected to kind of pick up where she left off?
We're all going to pitch in a little bit to try and fill that spot. We all are capable of scoring and creating shots for each other, so that's going to be the big goal there. Creating shots for each other, getting open looks, and we're all going to help with that.
All right, sounds good. Good luck to you this year. Caroline, on to you. Go ahead and grab that mic and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Caroline Cookling. I'm a senior, and I am a shooting guard and point guard sometimes.
Carolyn, I remember it might have been 5th or 6th grade. It was the Berkshire girls basketball camp. You were still coming from Ledgemont at the time, and my daughter was still playing basketball at the time. And I just remember watching you play, and I was like, oh, she's going to be a good one in high school. Well, that day has arrived, and you know, watching you the past 3 years, you were as good as you were, you know, growing there, and gotten better, obviously. But it went quick. Heading into your senior year, what are you feeling?
I'm really excited this year. I feel like our team is going to come together and play really well. Like Nadia said, we've been playing together for the past 4 years, so we have a lot of experience and chemistry.
She talked a little bit about the offense, and we talked about missing Lydia and who's going to take over there, but defensively, how's the game plan coming together?
Our team really focuses on defense. It's like our main thing. Without defense, you can't have like good offense. So we really push and we play really aggressively. So I think that's going to help us against most teams.
Who are some of the younger players that have impressed you already?
Definitely Olivia. She is a sophomore, and she's like one of the main people who's rotating into our like 6, and she's been playing really well. And also Meredith, she broke her finger, so she's like on the bench right now, but once she gets better, she's going to be really good.
Coach, I think you're going to need some bubble wrap at practice. We got
we did that.
Black eyes, broken fingers.
We had bubble wrap in practice today.
That's great. Yeah. You got to stay healthy. I mean, you guys have the potential to make a big run, but you need your players. So, what are your goals for the year?
Team-wise, I definitely think that we have a good chance of winning the CVC title, and individually, I want to break Lexi Boyd's steal record. I think it's like 14.
Yeah, she was a pretty good defender, so it's going to take some effort. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Natalie, go ahead and grab that microphone and introduce yourself. Name, grade, and position.
I'm Natalie Herring. I'm a senior this year, and I run the one.
Oh, so you're going to be busy. How's the offense coming together? You get to distribute the ball, find everybody where they're supposed to be?
Yeah, it's going very well. I mean, we focus so much on transition, and it flows right into our offense, and we do a very good job of controlling the tempo, too.
What's going to be the key for that offense just to hum the way it's supposed to every game?
Definitely getting everyone to touch the ball. I mean, we like to scatter the defense, and that's where we just pick apart those gaps and we attack it hard. So.
Any players kind of making an impact on you already in the preseason? I mean, you know all the seniors, but any of the young ones that you're like, oh, hey, they're pretty darn good?
I mean, everyone mentions Liv, but also Jenna Hornick. I mean, she's definitely getting more comfortable with us. I mean, she does the little things that we need. She just fits the glue when she's in, and I mean, she does exactly what she needs to.
What do you bring to the court as a point guard? What's your strengths?
I mean, I see the court very well, and I feel like I am working on putting my teammates in good positions, like not just chucking it to them in the corner and saying good luck. So.
All right. And what kind of goals do you have for your senior year?
I mean, definitely just working better together. I mean, we have such a strong foundation that I think that we can build a lot off of that. So.
All right. Good luck to you. Brooke, save the best for last. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home, name, grade, and position.
All right, I'm Berkshire. I'm a senior, and I mix a little bit between the post and a guard.
So coming into this year, I think everybody understands you guys are you have a really good shot at winning the conference title. The last few years, it was always, oh, I think Kirtland's going to win it, and Berkshire could push them. Well, now you guys kind of might have that target on your back. It's a little bit different being the underdog. You guys are now maybe the favorite. How are you handling that additional pressure?
I mean, I think we're handling it very well. We've had difficult scrimmages this year to prepare us, and I think, like with that, each scrimmage we've improved a ton, and it's just really helping our confidence grow.
How much does it help that you have so many volleyball and soccer players, and both of those teams have had a lot of success, and does that feed into the culture? And
Oh, it definitely does. Like, I know soccer had a big year, so did volleyball, and we came in, we're all in great shape, and even the ones that didn't do fall sports, we're all in great shape, and I just think the excitement is building.
what are coaches' expectations for you this year?
Definitely to get more confidence with the ball. It's been slowly growing since freshman year and finally getting to the point where I'm doing more.
Maybe you should just kick it because you're a very confident soccer player.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kick the ball a couple of times. Just make sure the refs aren't looking.
Yeah.
What kind of goals do you have for the year?
I guess I also have the confidence in myself as a goal for myself, and then like everyone else has said, the CVC title.
All right, sounds good. Good luck to you. Coach, back to you. I always like to ask the coaches after the players talk, you know, you get to talk to them in practice, but you don't really get the true sense of what they're feeling, and now they're on the hot seat with a microphone. Did they say all the right things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think every day at practice, like, we all speak up at the end of practice with any issues. I mean, they've all grown into be captains and be leaders to give the younger girls guidance for when they're not around. I mean, it's been the same for 4 years now. Like, yeah, you think it's always the seniors that step up, but Maddie's is on a 2 year as being a captain. Like Caroline, Nat, like they're always stepping up when they need to.
Well, that's the thing I think you have across the board here is your seniors have played a lot of basketball. Whether they're returning starters or not, they've gotten a lot of minutes. They've been in a lot of big games, and that helps you. And now they're passing that down to the younger ones who are going to get some time. And in 2 years or 3 years, we're going to have another media day with 7 seniors sitting up here. And
so that's the sophomore group.
Right.
I mean, that's how it is. I mean, that's the thing that's overlooked with these girls is that the question all preseason has been, well, who's going to replace Lydia Castor? Well, Nobody says, like, these are the girls that let Lydia do the things she did. I mean, these girls are grinders every single day on the court. Like, they work hard and do those things so that on any given night, anybody can have success in our system.
I go back years ago, and, you know, volleyball was like the best girls' sport at Berkshire. Soccer wasn't even around yet. It came around later. Softball had some good runs. Basketball certainly had some good teams, you know, when they went to regionals and stuff. But over the last decade or so, it's been softball. Well, now volleyball's back. Softball's still good, and now you've got all these girls' sports that are very successful. How does that help the culture? You're getting kids that come in that have that competitive edge and they want to win.
I mean, that's the good thing with having success, because Joni coaches a little different than me. Ian coaches a little different. I mean, we have a golf team again now that, I mean, Doug does a great job coaching those. Like, we had success with golf this year. I mean, it's just kind of turning into the culture of, like, everybody wants to have success, and then the more we all work together with it, like, it translates from season to season.
And that's the way it's supposed to work.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, so, and you get a lot of the multi-sport. We were just talking to Kirtland's girls team here a little bit ago, and same thing. They had a soccer player that's all Ohio. They had a volleyball player that, you know, they set school records for wins and went to regionals for the first time back to back. And so they've changed that culture. And, you know, obviously, you know, their soccer team has done so well, and that's kind of filtered down to the other sports. So you guys are seeing that, not just in basketball. You're seeing it in volleyball and softball and soccer. And so it's great to see. But what are the keys to success? What's it going to take for you to achieve all of the goals and the expectations that have been placed upon your team?
I mean, we haven't sat down as a team yet and really focused on what our goals are, but, like, it's always one day at a time, one game at a time, and that puts us in position to win conference. We win your conference, you get a good seed in the tournament. You get a good seed in the tournament, and we're hoping to be back at districts again this year. I mean, it'll be a little tougher bumping up to D2, but...
Oh, I didn't even realize you bumped to D2.
We're the smallest D2 now.
Oh, so that's going to be interesting.
But, I mean, like, that's why we had a tougher scrimmage schedule, and, I mean, high expectations. I mean, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, well, now that's going to be interesting because did you schedule based on that, or did you just schedule thinking you were D3
Scrimmages,
again?
we scheduled based on that, which, I mean, we're always a little bit tougher, but
Right.
we added some bigger schools traditionally.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting for scouting, at least in the first year, because you don't know many of those D2 teams, so you'll have to make some friends.
Played a few of them that are going to be in our district, I
Right.
think. So
Okay.
we'll be a little familiar here and there, but
That'll be an interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all making the trip out here, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
All right, that was the Berkshire girls basketball team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. As I mentioned, this is our third of 4 Media Day events. We were due to close things out tomorrow at Edgewood. Mother Nature threw a wrench into that plan, and we, due to the impending snowstorm, we moved that Media Day to Monday, so we will now close out our Winter Sports Media Days at Edgewood on Monday. We will start again at 5 o'clock. And up next, we were due to have the West Geauga boys basketball team. They are not here. So our next team interview is at 6:20 with the Orange Lions girls basketball team. So they should be here. We'll get them on the air as soon as they arrive. Right now, I'm going to take a break. We're going to recognize our presenting sponsor of CVC TV, which is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. And then we will take a quick break, and we'll wait for the Orange Lions to arrive.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.
You got it. Thanks for coming. If I knew West Geauga wasn't going to be here, we could have kept going. guys are a little bit early. That's all. We got one team's a no-show, and the other one is almost a no-show. They're due here in 3 minutes. So if they don't show up, I'll take you so you don't have to wait. You guys have anyone expecting to see you at 6:35? Will it matter if we jump on early? Yeah. I mean, if they, even when they go on, they can rewind it. But yeah, we'll give them a couple more minutes. But okay, cool. They have a couple. Yeah. All right, you'll sit down. I'll introduce you. You'll introduce your wrestlers. I'll ask you a couple questions. I'll talk to the wrestlers. Ask them a couple of questions. Nothing too difficult. It's all about them, so they should know the answers. And then I'll go back to you for a recap. So it should be pretty simple. You guys can jump in. Don't look like they're gonna make it. Doesn't matter, but yeah, you might as well. You look young enough, they might consider, might use you for one of the wrestlers. 30 seconds. Yeah, you should be good. Yeah, you're good. It only comes up to like, oh, you're doing what Kirtland Wrestling did. Jasmine. No? Is she not, I didn't know that she's not back. All right. Yeah, because they were, yeah, let's do that. They got, you got your girls? All right, yeah, let's jump right in because we're right on time. What is your name? LaShawn? Okay.
Yes, let me in. Oh, yeah. I'm on board next to you.
No, I didn't. She's still in the Google Drive. So, yeah.
Scared.
I got 10 seconds. Going right into the fire. Welcome back to Kirtland High School for the 2022 CVC Winter Sports Media Day. This is the third of 4. I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director, and up next we've got the Orange Lions girls basketball team and new head coach LaShawn Brown. Okay, got it right. All right, Coach, go ahead and introduce the athletes you brought with you, and then just give us an elevator pitch. What have you seen out of your squad in the couple weeks you've been with them? Grab that microphone. There's a little black switch on that. Just flip that up. There you go.
Just lay it down?
No, you.
Hold it?
Yep.
All right, I have senior Kayla, I have senior Alea, and I have sophomore Ray. Start off the season midsummer as the new head coach of Orange basketball team. Fairly young squad, a lot of teaching, a lot of drilling and getting used to my style of play. But I think that we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go. I think the girls have adjusted, but you know, the younger girls, they still have some adjusting to do, especially the ones coming out of middle school, so our freshmen. So we do have quite a few freshmen on the team.
I was out to see you guys last year. I think it was the opener against Independence. So I did know that you had a couple of really good underclassmen. I believe one's sitting down there at the end there, so she's back. So I got to see the squad. How different have things been, you know, new coaching staff, the transition, how's that gone?
It's been different, but I was familiar with a couple of girls on the team anyway. Alea being one, and then our junior, Olivia, grew up with playing reality sports AAU when I was coaching over there. So familiar, they're familiar with me, my style of play, very hard, very disciplined, not sure what to expect this new squad when game day comes, but I do know that we have been working very, very hard at the gym to get better.
All right, Coach, I'll come back to you after we talk to your players, and you can wrap things up for us, but start all the way down on the end, grab that microphone, and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Hi, I'm Ray.
Flip that black switch. There you go.
There we go. Hi, I'm Ray Obister. I play point guard, shooting guard, and I'm in 10th grade.
Oh, keep it. I'm going to start with you. Yeah, so you were one of those fab freshmen I got to see last year. You know, you came out, had a solid year as a freshman, and now you're coming in as a sophomore. People know who you are now, so they're going to have to game plan against you a little bit. But how much more confident are you coming in as a sophomore than you were as one of those wide-eyed freshmen?
Oh, well, we had a lot of work over the summer. We put in a lot of work as a team and, you know, individual stuff. Had another season of AAU club in the spring under my belt now, so I'm feeling more confident, definitely.
Great. And obviously a coaching change, it changes things, different game plans, different offenses and defenses. How is the team adjusted to that?
I think that Coach Brown has put in a really nice format. It's very clear that she cares about all of us, and she wants us all to succeed to our own levels, and I think that we've all stepped in pretty nice to the change.
Obviously, a lot of changes with the program. What are the positive changes that you've seen that has brought the team together?
I definitely think an emphasis on stamina and building, you know, parts of the game where we, you know, lacked last year. So stuff to build on.
All right. Talk about your game. What do you bring to the court?
I try to keep my head up when I come down the court. I try to keep a bit point guard vision, and I've been working on my shooting. It's getting there, I guess, and I'm left-handed, so I play on that as well.
All right. And then talk about some of, aside from the girls at the table, since we'll talk to them, talk about some of your teammates who has made an impact in practice so far.
So in practice, I would definitely point out Lancia. She's one of our new transfers from, I think, Cleveland Central Catholic. And Kennedy, they're both very strong players that I think they swing varsity and JV, and I think they're going to be really good for us this year.
What are the keys to success for your team?
Working together, communication is a big part of our game, and then just overall working together.
And give me your goals for the year.
Goals for the year, honestly, beat Perry.
That's a big goal.
That's a big goal.
All right, well, good luck to you, and good luck on that goal.
Thank you.
All right, pass that mic down and go ahead and introduce yourself. Name, grade, and position.
I'm Alea Washington. I am a senior, In position, I'm a small forward, and I'm transitioning into a shooter.
All right, I like that, and I bet you like that too. You get to be more of a shooter.
Yeah.
Outstanding. You know, coaching changes can be hard anytime, but as a senior, you're going into your final year, and oh, we got a new coach, and now you have to train the coach the right way to, you know, coach you and all that. That's how it works, right? Or no?
I wouldn't say training us, but like knowing this coach in previous years and having a relationship with her. As a senior, it wasn't as hard of a change for me because I know how competitive she is. I know how tough she is. I know how she is as a coach. So it's like I just got to go into practice and get the job done because I already know what she expects of me.
That's good. So you have that familiarity already. So you're confident in that, and that helps you set in your final year. You know, because that's a nerve-wracking year. You're so excited to start. Well, I'm a senior. It's gonna be so much fun. But at the same time, every game gets you closer to the end of your career, so there's probably some anxiety too.
Yeah, I know before she came as a coach, I would talk to the athletic directors every day. So who's our new coach? Can you tell me information about our new coach? Is our new coach, like anything that you could give me about our new coach? And then when I found out she was our new coach, I was like, oh Mom, yay, I know this coach. So I was really happy for her to be our coach.
What's the scouting report on you?
I'm really strong in the post, like that's my main. I love spin moves, but I have to grow out of the spin moves, so you can definitely look at me as a shooter now, but be scared to come in the post with me.
I like that. Good attitude. You have to have that attitude in the post. You got to be able to play and try and intimidate a little bit. That's good. Yeah. Give me a breakout player, somebody that maybe nobody knows right now, but after a few games, everybody's going to know.
I would say Micaiah. She's a junior. She just tore her ACL, but she's also, what did she play? Yeah, she's a big, so forward, but I know when she comes back from her injury, she's going to be another big player, and nobody knows about her because she was injured, but definitely watch out for Micaiah.
All right, and last one for you. Give me your goals. What are you hoping to accomplish this year?
My goals offside the court would be a good leader to my team and be there for my team, but on the court, definitely average at least 10, 15 points per game.
Outstanding. Well, good luck to you. All right, all the way down here, grab your microphone and make sure that black switch is up, and then just introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Hi.
Hi.
Michaela Henderson. I am a senior, and I am a shooting guard, trying to transition into point guard.
Oh, okay. So what's that transition going to take?
Me being strong with the ball, being confident with the ball, and like learning how to look around and analyze the court better.
All right. So coming in senior year, you get told you have a new coach. What was your first thought?
My first thought was that it's going to be very hard to probably transition because like new coaching style, new plays, new way of doing things. But when the workouts came around this summer, it got easier once I like figured out how she coaches and stuff.
And so has that transition kind of gone seamlessly? I mean, no issue. Everyone's buying in. You see that?
Yeah, I feel like everyone's really becoming comfortable with her once we realize what her goals is for us and what she expects of us, and we realize it's a good change.
Excellent. So shooting guard, maybe point guard. Talk about the offense. What's it going to take for that offense to hit and play at a high level each night?
Definitely more communication around our part. We definitely need to work on that, and then I feel like we'd be golden after that if we get our communication done.
All right. What kind of goals do you have for yourself this year?
For myself, it's got to be strong with the ball, take more of a charge on the court and stuff like that.
All right. And same question I asked earlier. Give me a breakout player, somebody that has impressed you in the preseason and you think they're going to have a big year. Maybe nobody knows who they are yet, but they will.
I don't know if you don't know if you know who she is. Ray mentioned her before. Kennedy. She is also a sophomore. She can be really strong. She has to get her out of her head a little bit. So once she focuses on that, I feel like she'll be really good.
Outstanding. Well, good luck to you this season. Coach, back to you. I always like to ask coaches how they feel about what they heard from their players, especially the new coaches, because you're at practice and you can instruct and coach and you hear their responses and you see the way they respond. But now they've got a mic in their hand, all the pressure's on them, camera pointing at them, and you get to hear what they're really feeling. How do you think? Is your message being received? Are they hearing what you want them to hear?
The message is definitely being received. The communication is a big part. The other thing, my goal is for them to compete. That's a big thing. My other goal is for us to do better than what they've done in the last 2 seasons. And one of those things is being able to compete and fight and work hard. We run every day. Every single day we run, because that's important to build up stamina. It will pay off later on in tournament time. But I think they're working hard. We still have a long way to go, but I think they're buying in and they know what I expect of them. I come from backgrounds where I played at. My coaches were very hard, very disciplined. I played in Cleveland Heights, went to Louisiana Tech University, did some professional ball with ABL, WNBA, and Israel. So I've come from a tough background. Like I said, very disciplined, but I'm proud of where we're at. We still have a long way to go, but look out for us to be more competitive this year.
With your resume, I have to imagine the girls are listening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to go out and, oh, hey, my coach had a good high school career, but
yeah.
You went on and played at the highest levels, so you know what you're talking about.
Well, I just think that to be a positive influence on the girls and for them to understand that I've been there where they were at before, and that what it takes to be successful on and off the court, what it takes to work hard, have some resilience, have some tough skin. I'm on each and every one of them, and they know that it comes from a good heart, but I expect the job to get done, and we continue to work very hard. The coaching staff, they know what I expect. They do a great job with the girls. I have a trainer that's in there working with the girls, ball handling, shooting, and everything. So just trying to get them up to speed so we can compete.
Outstanding. Last one for you. What are the keys to victory? You guys have some goals. You have some things you want to accomplish. What's it going to take to get there?
Still hard work, communication, and hopefully we'll be able to outlast or run the competition. That's going to be the stamina of getting up and down the court.
Got to run. I like it. All right, that is the Orange Lions girls basketball team here. New head coach, LaShawn Brown. So good luck, ladies. Appreciate you making the trip and hope to see you on the court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that was the Orange Lions girls basketball team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the Cardinal Wrestling team, and they're here and going to make their way. Another new head coach here in the CVC. Always a little bit of coaching turnover, and this one's got some big shoes to fill. Jeff Ziegler was Cardinals coach for many, many years, and I don't want to give away how many because they'll give away a little bit of his age, but Dakota Ward was one of his wrestlers, guy I covered when he was in high school, so coming full circle here. Now I get to interview Dakota as a coach instead of a wrestler. So Dakota, welcome, and appreciate you guys making the trip. Go ahead and introduce the guys you brought with you, and then give us a little quick overview of what we can expect out of the new era Huskies.
All right, well, I brought my 2 seniors here, my captains this year. This is Josh Ripley over here, and this is Andrew Tolsky. Kind of what you're going to see this year, we are a very young team, and I don't mean like young, like freshman-wise. We have a lot of kids that are new to wrestling, so it's going to be a little bit different year. We're trying to work hard. We're kind of going fast, running a lot, wrestling a lot, trying to get the kids conditioned, get them there. Hopefully we can win some matches just on conditioning alone, and make sure everybody gets caught up to where they need to be for the year. So, I mean, we're pretty excited. These 2 guys sitting next to me, they work really hard in the room, and they kind of push the other guys in the room to work hard as well, so that really helps out, especially being a new coach. But it was nice being in the room with Jeff beforehand. I mean, like you said, there are big shoes to fill. He's got, lots of years as head coach and a lot of quality kids, state placers all over the place. So, big shoes to fill, but hopefully we're able to, step in and do that.
I have to imagine you're applying a lot of the same coaching techniques that he used since you came up through his system, you coached with them, so I imagine he's still a big influence on the program.
Yeah, probably a lot of the same things. There's definitely some other, things that we're throwing in there, trying to change it up, seeing what we can improve. Trying to get, he's very old school, back to traditional wrestling, just straight double leg, single leg, stuff like that. We're trying to throw some extra stuff in there, change it up a little bit, but stick to the basics, make sure that we know what we're doing.
All right, Coach, I will come back to you. Josh, go ahead and grab your microphone. And Josh, just for the folks at home, go ahead and introduce yourself again, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
I'm Josh Ripley, and I'm a senior this year, and I play on wrestling 175.
So coming in, obviously going a coaching change, not a whole lot of difference because he's been around. So I'm sure you saw him in the room, and he's got the same kind of mindset that Jeff had with a new wrinkle. But how's that transition going into a new coaching staff?
I think it's great. I love Dakota. I've known him for a long time. He's known me for a long time, and he works us way harder than Jeff did. And Jeff's awesome. I can't wait for everything to happen this year. I think it's going to be great.
Coming in senior year, obviously you've been around, but coming in, you got one last go at a state tournament run. How are you feeling coming into this year? I mean, mentally, physically?
We're getting there. We're going to make it. Me and Andrew, we talk to each other every day. We are probably the closest people in the world, and we're going to make it there. That's our plan.
What have you learned in your past 3 years that's going to make the difference for you this year in that run to a state tournament?
Nothing skill-wise. It's just all mental. It's hard. It's hard losing. It's very stressful. It's very. It beats you down, and it's not fun.
I know. I've been there. It's an unforgiving sport, but it's hella worth it for sure. So, what is it going to take for you to make that run this year? I mean, you know how tough it is getting out of that Garfield Heights district. You've been there. You've seen the kids, and you get to Saturday, especially you get to that blood round, and you already said it. It's all mental at that point. And so knowing the challenges you face, how ready are you to kind of take those on this year?
I'm ready. I'm completely ready. I'm ready. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to move quicker. I'm going to move faster. As I just said, quicker. I'm not going to really change much, really. I'm just going to keep going.
What's your strength on the mat? What do you like to do?
My strength, I like being on the bottom. I think that's probably where I'm best, and that's where I like being.
But you can't be on the bottom that long, so if you're...
But I like being there.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it's fun.
Easy point. You always trying to escape, or you trying to turn and get some back points?
I'm not that strong, so I try to turn, and I can't ever do it, but I've always been told that I'm really good at riding people out and just not letting them up at all.
We're going to talk to Andrew, so don't mention him, but who are some of the other guys in the room that have made an impression on you already?
When he's there, it'd be Angelo Kozelko. He works pretty hard with me. Just everyone in there, if you can get them going, they'll go. Sometimes they'll slow down, but if you can keep them going, they're going to keep moving.
All right, give me one guy that maybe nobody knows about right now, but come sectional time, everybody will know. Anybody?
It's going to be Angelo.
Okay. Breakout wrestler. That's the pick, huh?
I hope so.
All right, sounds good. Good luck to you, Josh.
Thank you.
All right, Andrew, grab your microphone. Same thing. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
All right, my name is Andrew Tolsky. I plan on wrestling 215 this year, and I'm a senior this year.
All right, so coming in senior year, same thing. You learned a lot getting to this point. You got one more crack at it. Is it all excitement, or are there some nerves there as well?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My past 3 years, I've been getting closer each year. I think this year is going to be the year that it's a big mental game, like Josh was saying. You got to get in the right mindset to get all the way down to state. I mean, it's all about how far you're willing to push yourself to get there.
Especially at the upper weights, it's not so much about technique and speed. You got to be strong. You have to have good balance and just capitalize in any kind of mistake, because once those big guys fall on each other, it's hard to get up. But what are you doing to kind of prepare for this year and just for those moments?
This year, I'm definitely getting my head right, and a couple of the people that have been coming in, Caleb Fry, he was a returning state placer a couple of years ago. He's been coming in, he's been helping me a little bit since there's not a lot of bigger guys in the wrestling room, so he's been a great help this year so far.
He's a good one to use too, because he was tall and lanky and just makes you work. So how has that helped you? Have you kind of seen yourself getting a little bit better working with him?
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing myself getting a little bit better with him, especially because he's also showing me some different moves. Since he went to college wrestling, he's bringing some of that back, showing me how to do some of the bigger moves because he was a bigger guy.
Right. Yeah, and that's helpful. So, you know, again, you say you don't have a lot of big guys in the room, so you need good training partners, and having Josh, one of those guys that can push you. Who else do you work with that, you know, kind of helps make you a better wrestler?
Yeah, Seth Nichols, he's a pretty decent wrestler. He used to wrestle at Newberry before the school had gotten shut down. He came to us. He was a pretty decent wrestler.
All right. What's it going to take for you to reach your goals? And I won't even ask what they are. I mean, I don't have to ask wrestlers. I know what wrestlers are looking to do, but...
Yeah, it's definitely just going to be keeping my head right and coming back from, you know, whatever downs I have. Like loss, like Josh said, it's a big thing when you're in a tournament to fight your way back from bottom of the barrel to taking, you know, third if you can.
All right. And just as a senior, you know, this is your last year. What do you want people to remember about you when you've graduated, and you know, if your picture's hanging up on the wall in there, hopefully as a state qualifier?
I want to be remembered as the guy who came and went down to the state tournament and placed first. We haven't had a state placer in 27 years. I'd like to be the guy that got my name up there this year.
State placer in 20?
Sorry, state champion.
Champion, yeah.
Champion.
Yeah. I was going to say, I've covered a whole bunch of state placers. I didn't think I'm that old.
State champion, sorry.
All right, yeah, no, good job. All right, well, thank you, appreciate that. Coach, back to you. You know, obviously you got, you know, like we said, big shoes to fill, but it's a new era, and you kind of get to write your next chapter any way you want it to. Where do you see this program going? What's your vision?
Yeah, I mean, we have a huge vision for this. I've kind of taken over the youth program over the last few years, and that's kind of our feeder program. So I don't know if you know or not, but before I kind of took it over, the youth program kind of fell apart for a few years. So Andrew's the last youth kid before it kind of fell apart. So he's a senior this year. So we have some new guys coming up. This year we have 51 youth kids in the room.
Wow, that's great.
Which is huge compared to when I took it over. We had, I think, 13 or 14.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, we're trying to take it to where it needs to be. We're showing them the basics down there. Last year we had 3 middle schoolers. We're up to 9 this year. So we're kind of building our program, and hopefully it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And you know, we're not really just a team. We're trying to push it. We're a huge family. You know, we're having get-togethers. We're bringing everybody out there. You know, making it a big thing at Cardinal again. We're known for wrestling.
Yep.
And we're trying to bring it back a little bit. So we're excited. You know, we have a lot of alumni coming back in, like you said. Caleb Fry is our assistant high school coach with me. Ian Mast is helping out with middle school. That's a name you probably remember as well.
He did some broadcasting with us. So
yeah. So, you know, there's a lot of guys coming back in. Trent Mast comes back in.
Oh, Trent was the one. Yeah, not Ian. Yeah, my bad.
You know, Brandon Nyker comes in when he can. You know, there's all kinds of people out there that are willing to come back in and help out, and that's the big thing. Troy Miller is another name I can think of. So once all those guys start getting in there, you know, yeah, Charlie Morris, another state placer coming back in. So, you know, all of those guys coming into the room, helping out and making it what it needs to be. You know, we have a big vision for the place. So hopefully you see some good things from Cardinal here in the near future.
That's great, and you got it. I mean, starting with that youth program, building that up, your middle school will grow, and it'll happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good stuff. Glad to see it. I love seeing those wrestling programs rebound and kind of reinvent themselves. It's good to see. So, all right, I appreciate you gentlemen making a trip out here for Media Day, and I'll see you on the mat here soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck this season. All right, that was the Cardinal Huskies wrestling team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Up next, we have the Chagrin Falls boys basketball team. Head coach Dave Barger. We're right about on schedule, a couple minutes here early, so doing pretty well tonight. All right.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. Steve, how are you?
I am well, thanks. Chagrin Falls Tigers boys basketball up next here on CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Head coach Dave Barger. Coach, I'm going to let you jump right in and introduce the guys you brought with you, and then, as always, give us a little elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the 2022 Tigers?
Okay, well, directly to my right is senior Nicholas Vinci, 2-year starter. Next to him is another senior and a 2-year starter, Max Crandall. And then third one over is another senior who has been starting in our preseason so far, is Henry Barr. And then the final one at the end there, another 2-year starter, senior James Cosmedes.
And what can we expect out of the 22 version of the Tigers?
Well, we got a lot of high expectations. We have,
as always.
Yes. We have 3 starters back this year. We've got some guys off the bench too that have got some experience. A lot different than when we were sitting here last year. We had graduated 5 starters, 10 seniors. But with those expectations, you got a lot. Now you got other teams shooting for you. It just changes your demeanor a little bit because we're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. I mean, last year we finished 10-4 in the CVC. This year I know everybody's going to give us their best shot again. So we do have great expectations. We have a great group of guys that are love to play the game together, tight-knit group, like to be coached, and like to compete. So as long as we can stay healthy and have everybody on the floor, I feel pretty confident that we could have a successful year.
All right, sounds good. Coach, we'll come back to you after I talk to the players. We'll start right to your right, and that was Nicholas. Go ahead and grab that microphone, Nicholas. Make sure that black switch is up.
You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and position.
I'm Nicholas Vinci. I'm a senior, and I'm the shooting guard.
So Nicholas coming in, last year you guys were the underdog. Everybody kind of maybe overlooked you a little bit, and now you're going to have a big bullseye on your back. As Coach said, you're not sneaking up on anybody. How ready is this team to kind of meet that new expectation?
We're ready. I mean, like Coach said, we want to be coached, and we love to compete. We love to get up and down the floor, so, I mean, we're ready.
What's different about going back 2 years ago? Because last year a lot of new faces, but what's different about this team now that the core has a good year of experience under its belt?
I just think we're really tight. We're really close together. We play together. The chemistry is very well, so everything we do works well together.
What's the key offensively to get things going?
That big man down there, we get him in the middle, have him, when he's got the ball in his hands, things happen, and we'll go from there.
As a senior, you want to leave your high school career with some pretty good memories. What's going to be a good year for you?
A district championship and beating Kenston, for sure.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
What's it going to take to achieve those goals? I mean, obviously you got to come out and play hard every night, those kind of things. You got to win games, but it takes a little bit more than all that.
He preaches it every day, championship practice. We saw it recently with this last couple scrimmages. We had a bad week of practice, and then that translates to a bad scrimmage. Then we have a couple good practices in a row, and then we go out and have a great scrimmage. So made everything.
What's the key to finding that consistency?
Championship practice. I don't really know how to
That's
put
it?
it. He can describe it pretty well for you, but yeah, championship practice.
Without mentioning the guys at the table, since we're going to talk to them, give me some other guys on the team that have impressed in the preseason.
Spencer Cass, he's our starting point guard. Last year he started sometimes when people were hurt, so he got a feel for the game for a little bit, and he looks very good this year. And Ryan Curtis, he'll be power forward, small forward. He's another starter this year, and they're both sophomores, so they're young, but we expect a lot out of them.
All right, last one for you. Give me your goals, individual and team-wise. What are you hoping to accomplish?
Team, district, personal, just getting everyone involved. Obviously making my shots here and there. I consider myself a three-point shooter, so at least 40% with those.
I saw the look from Coach, so we'll have to revisit that one when we get back to him. But all right.
Say, hey, Cass, I know you're watching.
Pass that on to Max. Your turn. The mic drop. I like it. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Max. Name, grade, and position.
I'm Max Crandall. I'm a senior, and I'm the point guard.
All right, so Max, you get to be the quarterback out there. What does it take for you guys to get that offense rolling? Just what as a point guard, what do you try to do to make sure you're distributing and keeping the defense off balance and getting the ball to the big man?
Yeah, I honestly think the most important part is breaking the pressure. And when teams press, we got to get the ball over the half court. And we got good sets that coach gives us. So I mean, my job's pretty easy. I usually just give it down to James. He does all the work for me. And yeah, just running the offense. I always try to find the open guy. I always preach that for me, an assist is more important than scoring. So those are just kind of things for me.
Last year, as we mentioned, you guys kind of came in, a lot of new faces. Maybe people didn't expect too much out of you. Why did you have that success?
I guess we just want to fill in the shoes of the guys in front of us. And we want to prove the people wrong, because coming up to the season, there's always people saying, like, oh, Chagrin, they lost everyone, not going to be great. So we just want to step up and show people that we can be great.
Why is this team going to do what it does this year and whatever success it has? What's going to be the key?
Personally, I feel a lot more confident coming into this year. Last year I was kind of nervous, like I said, we had big shoes to fill, but this year we got people with experience, me, James, and Nick. We all started last year. And Barn. We all started last year, but just having a whole year under the belt helps a lot, because I feel a lot more comfortable, especially with my teammates and coaches. I know everyone a lot more, and it just helps to have that confidence going into every game.
I know Coach never overlooks defense, so talk about that unit. What are you guys trying to accomplish this year?
The biggest thing for us is communication. We got to work on that a little bit. We've been struggling, but just to talk. Especially in zone, passing people on. You got to talk and let the other people know. If I'm at the top, if I'm on the elbow with someone, I got to pass them over. Stuff like that. We just got to communicate, and effort is a big thing on defense especially. You got to box out. Can't give up offensive rebounds. So.
All right, and then give me a breakout player, somebody that maybe nobody knows about right now, but after a few games, everybody will know.
Sitting here to my right, Henry Barr. I mean, he's going to have a great year this year. He's going to get a shot back, and he's going to knock down some great threes for us.
All right, and what are your goals, individual and team-wise?
Team, kind of like Nick said, beating Kenston is always a great feeling, but I think he sold us a little short with the district title. I think we can win the state championship.
I like it.
And personal goal, lead the team in assists, run the offense, and win games, really.
All right, good luck to you this year. All right, Henry, you already had the big introduction from your teammates, so go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home, name, grade, and position.
I'm Henry Barr. I'm in 12th grade, and I play shooting guard, but I can pretty much play anywhere, honestly, wherever they need me.
So now that your teammate, he preys on you, why? What are you doing that has impressed your teammates like that?
I feel like I just bring that energy. Like, I'm not going to fill up the stat book as much, but I feel like I'll bring that energy and I'll bring the team together more. So I think that could help a lot.
Talk about your game. What do you bring to the court?
Definitely defense. I'm a defensive first player, and I can, like, if someone's guarding me, I might sneak behind them. I'm going to cut to the hoop, just all the energy. Like Matthew Dellavedova, the guy.
Is he the team clown? Is he the guy that makes everybody laugh? Every time he talks, everyone's giggling.
Yeah, I was worried when he got the mic, but he's the energy guy off the bench right now. There's no doubt about it. He actually led our team in rebounding in the scrimmage the other day at 9, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, you're not the biggest guy, so coming out and leading the team in rebounding, that's all effort. What inspires that? What makes you go out and play that hard?
Just my teammates, we've been playing all our lives, and I just put everything on the floor for them, and I hope I can contribute to wins.
I like it. And that has to make Coach feel pretty good when you hear a teammate say that. He puts his body on the line for his teammates.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they feed off of Henry Barr's energy. There's no doubt about it. It's not all of our guys play with a lot of passion and energy, but he certainly is the leader. There's no doubt about it.
All right, good stuff. All right, Henry, who else has impressed you this season so far in practice?
He said Ryan Curtis earlier. I definitely think that he's been scoring very well. I also think Aiden Beresford's another guy off the bench, kind of reminds me of myself. He brings that energy too, and we need that when James is off the floor. So I think he's going to definitely surprise people.
And give me your goals, individual and team.
Team, definitely want to bring some hardware home this year. Like they said, district championship or more, whatever we can do. Individual, I think leading the team in offensive rebounds would be pretty cool. I'm a shorter guy, but, think that'd be pretty cool.
James is over there like, yeah, that ain't going to happen. All right, Henry, good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
All right, James. Now that we know you're not going to be the team's offensive leading rebounder, you could probably just go home now. Your work here is done. So, all right, James, go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and position.
All right, I'm James Cosmides. I'm a senior, and I'm the center.
All right, so you're the center of attention. It seems like Henry's stealing some of that spotlight.
Yeah.
It seems like you guys all get along pretty well, and that's really important for, the team cohesiveness and stuff. Is that the sense? You guys all?
Yeah, I mean, we all grew up playing basketball together and just being friends. So, like, it all being our main sports and us just being friends makes practice like fun. Every day, I'm excited to come out and play with my friends. Even if I don't want to play basketball, I'm just hanging out with my friends. Like, every day is just a blast just to go out there and have fun.
And it seems like you guys are able to flip the switch. You're having fun, but when it's time to go to work, you flip that switch. Obviously, the success you had last year speaks to that. Is that the case?
Yeah, so, like what Nick said, we had a week of bad practices, and I think that's because we just more had fun than actually, like, play hard in practice. But if we're able to have fun and, as we say, have, like, a championship-style practice, then we can be very good. Because being a tight-knit group and being skilled, which I think we are both, I think that's when teams succeed the most.
Coming in, CVC Chagrin division, very tough. We got a defending state champion in there, even Division 4, but you guys have played Richmond Heights. They've got some game. They're tough to beat, but how ready is this team for that challenge?
There's no teams on our schedule that I'm afraid of playing. I think we should win the CVC. That's one of my goals. And, I mean, we have some tough teams we're playing, but there's no team that I'm afraid of.
Well, and the good thing is you play in this conference where every night you're being pushed by somebody, and then you go into the postseason, and you've already seen that kind of talent. So how much does that help, just playing in a tough conference and a challenging schedule all year long?
It helps a lot, because if you go out against a good team and then you play someone in playoffs that isn't as good as the team you're playing against, you're so used to playing against that talent that it almost seems easier to you in the playoff game, which is a huge benefit of being ready in a moment like that.
So we know Henry's the guy that keeps everything light and everybody having a good time. In those moments in the huddle when things are pretty intense in a game, maybe last couple minutes, who's the guy that calms everybody down and say, hey, we've been here, we know what to do?
I think it's probably me. I try to be the vocal leader on the team. I try to make sure everybody stays in check. Everybody can have their fun and goof off, but I try to make sure everybody does what we're supposed to and stays locked in moments like that.
Talk about your game as a big man. You got to be number one. You got to be athletic in there and move around, have good footwork, be able to score a rebound. Do you meet all those things?
Yeah, I like to think I'm a guy that can do a little bit of everything. You can put me out on the perimeter, you can put me out of the hoop, wherever you want me to go. I think I can score from anywhere. So I think I check all the boxes you said.
All right. And what about impact players that you've seen in practice, aside from the guys at the table? Who's impressed you so far?
Will Rossi is a guy off the bench. He's like a shooting guard, and he can really shoot that thing from anywhere on the court. And I think that if a situation we need somebody to shoot, he can fill that role very well.
And then just goals for you. What are you trying to accomplish individually and as a team?
Individually, I'm trying to lead Ohio in blocks. As a team, I want to win the CVC, win districts, and beat Kirtlan for sure. Yeah. Also beat Hawken, because they beat us on our senior night last year, which was a bit tough loss.
Gotcha. All right, good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
Coach, back to you. It's always fun to see a team come up here and they get along well, it seems, and that has to make it easy for you to coach.
Well, there's no doubt that the togetherness of this group is one of our biggest assets. And I know they joked around a little bit up here, but these guys compete hard. The one thing they do need to focus for the entire practice, because there's times that their friendship kind of gets in the way of their goals, but it doesn't diminish what they do on the court. They really go out there and compete hard, on a nightly basis. So that's the biggest thing we have. As long as we can stay focused, stay healthy, then we should be in good shape.
And playing the schedule you do, I can't imagine there are times where you can say, we've got an easy game. I mean, they have to just naturally be ready to play intensely every night because of that schedule.
Yeah, I mean, our schedule, obviously the CVC schedule speaks for itself, but our non-conference schedule for being a Division III program now, you know, playing the likes of Kenston, Aurora, Chardon, Twinsburg, NDCL. There's a lot of schools that we get challenged every single night, so there's not an easy one that we have, you know, that we can take a breath.
I didn't realize you dropped to D3.
First time in over 20 years
Wow.
that we dropped down to D3 for this year.
Wow, so that's going to change. I mean, we just had Berkshire who moved up from D3 to D2, and that kind of changes things for you a little bit. I mean, you know the D2 schools.
Sure.
Now you got to drop down, and your schedule, you don't schedule many D3 schools, so you're not going to get to see some of those teams. And
Yeah, it's definitely different. I don't know what it means. I mean, instead of facing Akron St. Vincent, you got Lutheran East. So I think it's you know, just different schools you got to get used to and kind of follow that's not in your area.
Right. That'll definitely make a fun postseason for the first time, just seeing a bunch of new schools. That'll be neat.
Yeah, that'll be different.
So cool. All right. We talked about a lot of guys. Anyone they missed? Anyone else that's impressed you in the preseason?
No, I mean, all our guys have done a really good job. I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the two sophomores that have worked their way into the starting lineup. I mean, Spencer Cass and Ryan Curtis have done fantastic jobs. Some of those seniors that are going to give us minutes off the bench, like they mentioned, like Will Rossi, has an opportunity to get on the floor. And then Aiden is actually a junior that's going to give us some minutes off the bench. We got a good group, a good sophomore group that if we need to go to them, we can use them. So we just think that we have a lot of depth. That if we need to use them, they'll be there, and they're all preparing like they're going to get minutes. So that's the important thing.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I appreciate gentlemen making the trip out here, and good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
That was the Chagrin Falls Tigers boys basketball team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day, live from Kirtland High School, and presented by Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery. Up next, we've got the Beechwood swim team. All right, here they come. Give them a quick minute to get set up, and we'll give you a message from our sponsor.
Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Orofacial and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
All right, welcome back to Kirtland High School for the third of 4 CVC Winter Sports Media Days. Again, I am Steve Harris, CVC Sports Information Director, and up next we've got the Beechwood Bison swim team, head coach Brad Burgett. Coach, I'm going to let you start, introduce the swimmers you brought with you, and then just give us a quick overview. What can we expect out of your team this year?
Well, is this on?
It's on.
Okay. This is Colin Elwell. He is a freshman. He is probably the most talented freshman we've had since Spencer Bystrom. So we expect a lot out of him, no pressure. All right, next to him we have our 2 seniors. We have Owen Shook and we have Evan Warner. Both these gentlemen were on the state qualifying relay last year, and I expect them to give us a lot of leadership into this season. And they are unofficially our captains for this year. We haven't chosen them yet, but I have a feeling they'll be chosen.
So you're rigging the vote.
Yeah, sure.
Talk about the squad. I mean, just in general, excited, optimistic. Coming into a new year, you always have to have some excitement. But
yeah, very exciting. We have 12 incoming freshmen. 9 of them are boys. So I think that's probably our largest class. One year we graduated 12, so we had 10 incoming freshmen that year. So they're very talented. That group swept all our middle school records last year, and beat records of all the guys that have gone to states over the past, 7 or 8 years in a row. So very exciting. With the leadership of these 2 gentlemen down here, I expect them to shore up, mature, and not these guys, but mature the freshmen coming in and get them ready to roll. Yeah, I'm looking forward to racing.
yeah, so with that kind of success in middle school, yeah, you have to be optimistic.
Right.
All right. So let's pass Mike down, and we'll start. I'll come back to you, Coach, and recap after we talk to the guys. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what events you plan to swim this year.
I'm Colin
Flip
Noah.
that switch up again. There you go.
Colin Noah, freshman, and I'm planning to swim 200 free, 100 free, and 200 IM this year.
So you're coming in, and your coach has already raised the bar for you. I mean, you're already coming in as a freshman, so there's going to be some nerves, that kind of thing, and now you have these high expectations. Can you handle it?
I hope so.
I guess that's an okay answer. You hope you can. But what's it going to take? I mean, not to reach all the expectations people have set for you, but you just to come in and settle in and gain some confidence.
Just like working hard at practice every day is going to be most of it.
What was your middle school success?
Working hard at practice every day.
All right. And is there an event that you feel more comfortable in? Is there a favorite?
My favorite is 100 freestyle.
And why is that?
I just love freestyle. It's a fun event.
All right. And coming in with all these expectations as a freshman, not only does it mean you've got to work hard to meet those, but moving on as a sophomore, junior, senior, those expectations are going to follow. What are you going to do to just kind of position yourself to do everything you want to accomplish and meet your coach's expectations?
Go to practice every day.
There's a trend here. Seems like practice is important.
Yeah.
All right. How do you practice and swim? I'm not all that familiar with swimming. I've covered some swim meets, that kind of thing, but I've never swam competitively like that. I sink, so I try to stay away from water. But how does a practice go? Do you spend a lot of time just drilling your events, or are you doing different?
A lot of time just getting yardage in.
Okay.
And practicing our strokes, and then a lot of time on paper.
Yeah, he got it. Took him a little while to come around, Coach, but he eventually got to it. But all right, and here's an opportunity. Don't mention anyone at the table since we're going to talk to them, but who are some of the teammates that have impressed you?
Kevin and Kevin Zhang. Yeah, Kevin Zhang.
Okay.
Ben, Adam, Alex, Ethan, all really fast.
Swimming's one of those sports where it doesn't matter what he does
Yeah.
for your race, but I mean, obviously you get points and for the team scores and things like that, but how does it help to have a core group of swimmers that, number one, you get along well, but you're also all competitive and push each other? How does that help you?
Just have like people cheering you on when you're doing hard races helps a lot.
All right, and give me your goal for your freshman year. What is it that you want to accomplish for this first year of high school swimming?
States individually.
All right. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Go on to the middle, go ahead and grab a mic and flip that up, and same thing, introduce yourself, name, grade, and what positions, or what events you plan to swim.
I'm Owen Shook. I'm a senior this year, and I'm planning to swim the 100 fly, 200 free, and all the relays I can.
All right, so coming in senior year, just like your teammate there who's a freshman, he's got some excitement. You have to have the same excitement. You're a senior, one more year, you're going to graduate. But at the same time, every race gets you closer to the end of that career. What are you feeling going into this new season?
Well, I'm just really excited. You know, our team was pretty small last year, but this year with all the incoming freshmen, it's really going to be a big boost in morale just to see how these guys grow, especially because these are some of the strongest freshmen we've had in a while. So I'm really excited just to get into the meets and see how they do and, you know, succeed myself along with them.
Coach has already put that expectation that you two are going to be great leaders for this team. What's it going to take to be a great leader? How do you go about that?
You know, I think just working hard in practice and being like a role model for the rest of the team so they can see someone who's trying their hardest and they can match me in some ways. I think that's going to help them find their mojo.
Who inspired your leadership style?
You know, Sam Ornstein last year, his brother's on the team, again, Dylan Ornstein. But Sam Ornstein last year, he really worked hard. Every day that he could, he was swimming. So just seeing him try to push through and you know, try hard every day, it's helped me grow. And he's still like an icon even as he's moved on into college.
Okay. Give some teammates a shout out. Who's impressed you with their work ethic and the way they've swam so far in the preseason?
You know, Ben Karlieber, Colin mentioned him. He's really working hard. Dylan Ornstein, just like Sam, you know, he's had some struggles, but he's still pushing and he's coming every practice. We love to see that. Kevin Zhang, again, he's probably going to be our fourth on our relay this year. So
okay.
We're really excited to see how he does. He did well last year. Yeah, all these new freshmen, seeing them work hard. I'm sure Colin mentioned pretty much everyone. Adam, Derek, yeah, definitely Derek fan too. He's another sibling. He's gonna work hard this year. He's gonna do great.
I imagine having that taste of the state meet experience leaves you wanting a little bit more.
Definitely.
How much did it inspire you to just say, hey, I got one more crack at it, I'm going to give everything I've got?
Well, just coming into a meet and seeing like these high-level swimmers, it's almost inspiring. Seeing how fast they can swim and seeing that potential I could have. It's really exciting.
All right. And what are your goals for the year?
I would love to make it to states in the 100 fly, and I would love to see our team even maybe place on our relays. I think we have a shot this year.
All right, good luck to you. Let's go ahead and grab your mic, and same thing. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what event you plan to swim.
Hi, I'm Evan Warner. I'm a senior at high school. I'm a sprinter, so I swim the 50 free, 100 free, 100 back, and also our 2 free relay and 4 free relay.
So coming in, coach has already said you're a team leader. Why? What is it about you that he thinks you're a good leader for the team?
It's definitely just because I've been swimming for so long. You know, I'm a senior now, just like Owen. So the role just like fell upon us. You know, now that we're the older ones. So yeah.
How do you try to lead?
Just lead by example. Try to go to practice on time. Try to be there. Put the effort in every day, and yeah. Make sure people follow me.
That state relay that you guys had, is everybody back, or did you graduate a couple guys?
Two of the kids on our team graduated, or not kids, but two of them graduated. So it's just me and Owen.
As a swimmer, how much have you grown from freshman year to senior year?
Definitely a lot, like personality and like just with the team, and I don't know. I've overall just grown like heavily like as a person through swimming, and I think that's the great part about swimming is, like team bonding, and I don't know, he's like family, So.
Yep. I mentioned that, I don't know if it was yesterday or Sunday in one of the media days. Swimming's not one of those mainstream sports like football, basketball. And so I put cross country in there and swimming. And what I like about those sports is that kids are just like you guys. You're just a big family. You get along so well. It's a great group of kids. Do you sense that out of your team?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of people tend to forget about swimming. Sometimes it seems to get overshadowed a little bit, but they really don't know the work that we put in and the grit and just everything that comes in with it. So it's a lot.
And I also think cross-country runners and swimmers, I think they're all pretty smart kids too. I mean, y'all pretty much get good grades. Is that?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is it those sports attract the smart kids, the really smart kids?
I don't know.
I think it's because it's a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of individual commitment. You don't have teammates to hide behind. It's just you out there. So what kind of goals do you have for yourself this year?
Definitely looking forward to hopefully winning the CVC again. We should. I definitely am looking forward to placing at states, scoring us some points, hopefully getting a podium, and getting a relay there. That's the goal.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Coach, let's go back to you. I like to always follow up with the coaches after they get to hear what their kids said on media day. Are you happy with the way they're coming together as a group?
Oh, definitely. I'm going to hold them to what they've said here. We have it on video. So hopefully they will put in all the work which I expect of them, and they should expect of themselves. I think they are more talented than they lead on. I don't think they realize the potential that they have. If they can put it together this year, I don't want to just go to states. I want to do stuff at states. We're going to score points. I expect to be a top 10 program. So, and I expect that out of them. So it's not that difficult. You have a few guys scoring at states individually, and then all your relays scoring points in your top 10 in the state. It's that simple. It's not that simple.
Yeah, I get that.
But they can put in the work. They can make it happen. They got to focus the championships and get it done.
And looking at the group you have, once you start that cycle of you're developing that culture, and it just kind of builds a monster. Like we had Hawken girls out here the other day, 24 straight titles. I mean, that's just a sick run. And but yeah, you start to do that, and it kind of takes care of itself. The kids just want to be better than the last group. And do you see that out of your kids?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear that they were inspired by the older kids that they grew up with, and now they're the seniors, and you're seeing that?
Yeah, it's been the last 7 or 8 years we've had kids at states and relays, and Sam was 8th in the 100 breaststroke last year, and so they've done a really good job. So it's definitely, they understand the expectations. Now they got to put in the work. It's definitely go time.
All right, and then just to achieve all of your goals, what are the key for these guys? I mean, obviously they got to swim fast, but what's it going to take just to go out on a consistent basis and, you know, not pucker up in those moments of, you know, districts and things like that? They've got to, you know, those big time moments to be ready. What's it going to take?
They have to beat the person next to them. And you know, all the close races, I don't want to lose any of them. That, you know, upsets me more than anything I see at a swim meet. There's a close race and you don't have the guts to beat that person next to you. That's going to keep you from achieving your goals.
There it is, gentlemen. Swim faster than the guy next to you. It's a simple sport, really. Anyone can do it, except me, I sink. All right, gentlemen, I appreciate you being here, and best of luck to you this year.
Thank you.
All right, that was the Beechwood Bison swim team out here at CVC Sports, Winter Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the Beechwood boys basketball team.
Thank you.
Humming right along here after Beechwood. We've got a run of Bison teams here. We started with swim team. We've got the boys basketball team. Up next, we've got the wrestling team. And then we're going to close out the night at 7:50 with the Hawken wrestling team. So winding down here on our third of 4 Winter Sports Media Days.
Coach,
anywhere you want.
Screw the chairs out.
Coach K out here all the way to our left. I'm going to start with him. Coach, go ahead and grab your mic, flip that black switch up, and introduce the guys you brought with you and give us your elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Bison this year?
All right, I will start with their introduction. Is it to my left? I've got Noah Page. Noah has actually transferred in from Orange, and so we're excited to have him, as well as his twin brother Max, in the program this year. We've got Josh Jones, and I guess one thing about Noah kind of plays the game. I kind of compare him. He's got a lot of similarities in his game to like a Kevin Love sort of player. Josh Jones is a senior. All these guys are seniors here. Josh is he kind of reminds me of James Harden, both good and bad sometimes, but. A super talented point guard, off guard player. Thrilled to have him. Nathan Lurie is a returning starter. Nathan was first team all conference, was all district last year, was all everything. Averaging 22 points a game. Thrilled to have him back. He's got a chance to be a 1,000-point scorer for us. And then last and certainly not least is kind of our Swiss Army knife, which is Braylon Eaton. He does a little bit of everything. He kind of is a little bit of a Russell Westbrook type, where he's the most athletic guy at the table, probably next to me. But I'm kind of joking. But he's the most athletic guy here. He's a track star. He's kind of a lockdown defender, and all the kid cares about is winning. And so our elevator pitch last year was a difficult, frankly, rebuilding year. Our first game of the year, Nathan hurt himself in a scrimmage. He broke his hand. And we opened the season last year down our top 8 players from the year before. And so that's pretty tough. And so as the year went along, we improved tremendously. We had one of our best wins as we won our first round playoff game as the 18 seed at Canton Central Catholic. And so we only had 2 seniors we lost. Unfortunately, we had 2 seniors that graduated. Another young man who would probably be here today is we have a young man named Jamin Caldwell, who's a 6'5" player, who's our second leading scorer and our leading rebounder, tore his ACL in football, so unfortunately he's going to miss the year. When I look what we've got here, and I mean no disrespect to Braylon, but when I look around at a lot of teams have kind of an elite player, and I think the combination of Noah, Josh, and Nathan, I think we've got 3 of them. And the attitude I've kind of got is that we ought to be really humble. I've never had a losing season. Last year was pretty tough, but we've got 3 borderline elite players. And so we're kind of talking about trusting the process and trusting each other and sharing the ball. I think any of these 3 guys could go off for 25 points in any given night, but we've got to trust each other and kind of what we're doing. I think to most teams we're going to be under the radar, and I like it a lot.
It's not a bad place to be.
It's not.
But it doesn't last long, because once you start beating the Giants, they know.
No, and we've got a pretty tough schedule to start out with. And so we open up with Andrews Osborne, who's a D4 school, very well-coached team. And so our first 3 games are on the road. So we play at Anders Osborne, we play at Chagrin Falls, we play at Richmond Heights. And so we played those teams.
So a butter cake, butter,
Yeah.
what do you call it?
Cupcake?
Yeah, cupcake opening, yeah.
No. So, I've always kind of had the motto that we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. And so just with kind of accommodating wrestling and things like that, we had to switch some things around. And so we get right into it. And so I think we're ready to go. And I have Coach Barger, I have the utmost respect for him and the program he runs. We're going to go in there and fight those guys. And Richmond Heights, deserves all the accolades they get. We'll show up. I promise you that.
That's all you can do.
Yep.
See what happens. But yeah, that's a tough opening. 2 Division IV powerhouses, and then Chagrin Falls, who is always good. So you're going to test these guys early and often. All right, Coach, I'm going to come back to you after we talk to the guys. Noah, go ahead and grab that microphone. And for the folks at home, introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Noah Page. I go to Beechwood High School. I say I play like 3, 4, and 5.
So Noah, you're a transfer from Orange. You go from one rival to the other. How are these guys welcoming you? And I can't imagine you're wearing any orange gear to school anymore.
They really welcomed me. I thought it wasn't too hard of a switch. I was really excited. It was really fun.
Has the transition been pretty easy for you? You're learning a new offensive and new defensive systems, learning new teammates, that kind of thing.
I think we really fit each other really well. Like Josh, he'd get to the rim and swing it out for an open shooter like me or Nate. And I think the transition wasn't too hard, and I think we should do really well and make a really big run this year.
Give me a scouting report on you. What do you bring to the court?
I would say shooting and my intensity, because I love rebounding. I love bringing intensity to the table, and I love always like pushing and making and going hard.
You're one of those rare players. You played for one high school, now you're playing for another, so you get to see how 2 teams kind of come together. You've had your Orange family, now you have your Beechwood one. How different is this team compared to the last one? I don't mean ability or anything like that, but just kind of the way you guys come together and get along as kids.
I would say this team is more offensive based, and we sometimes hit heads, but I think we do come together and we do have like a strong bond, and we're like a family.
Without naming any of the guys at the table, since we're going to talk to them, give me some other guys on the team that have impressed you.
I think my brother Max Page, he really fits our team really well and really knows what he's doing on the court, and really fits his role. And also Daniel Rubb, he also really knows his role and can knock down any open 3. And Michael Kesselman, who just brings energy to the table and always works hard.
What are your goals for the year individually and as a team?
I would say my goals are just to win. I really want to go far. I really want to finish off my senior year and not regret anything.
All right, good luck to you. All right, Josh, grab that microphone. Same thing. Introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and position.
My name is Josh Jones. I'm a combo guard. I can really do everything on the court for real. I think my pace, the way I control the game, the way I find open shooters, get to the rim, I think I could really I'm one of the best. I'm gonna say I'm the best point guard in the CVC.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is Coach expecting out of you on a nightly basis? What's your role?
Leadership is number 1 for me. Leadership, being there for guys, like if somebody has a bad play, always pick them up, and just really impacting winning. That's the biggest thing this year is impacting winning, and just trying to go as far as we can this year, honestly. Yeah.
You're the point guard, so you get to distribute the ball to all your teammates. Coach is talking about 3, 4 elite talents. How are you going to decide where that ball goes?
Man, honestly, I love playing with these guys. They're really unselfish. We all want to see each other eat, so I feel like it's going to be pretty easy. We all compliment each other's game, too. I'll say I'm more for like a drive first type of player. I got 2 shooters next to me, so it's going to be real hard to, help off. So I feel like it's like we really compliment each other's game. Then Braylon's he does everything for us. I'm not going to lie, plays defense, brings energy, so I feel like we all going to come together this year. I think it's going to be a year.
All right, sounds good. And looking at you and what you want to accomplish this year, I know the team goals, everybody wants to go and win, but what do you want to do individually?
I say individually, first team all conference, and then first team all district, and try to win CVC Player of the Year. I'll say personally for me.
How nice is it? Yeah, we talked about the schedule, the early part of it. How nice is it just knowing you're going right into it? I mean, you're going to be tested early and often.
Oh, I love it. This is all I wanted, honestly. We ready for all the smoke. We all seniors here. It ain't nothing we haven't seen, so I feel like we ready, yeah.
Outstanding. Good luck to you. All right, Nathan, on to you. Grab that microphone and same thing. Introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and position.
I'm Nathan Lurie. I'm a senior at Beachwood High School, and I also play point guard and shooting guard.
I remember media day last year. Coach was really excited about you, and then unfortunately you had the injury. How's that going? You back? You ready? Full go?
I'm fully back from my injury. That was a year ago. I just broke
Good.
a couple fingers in my hand. We had a underwhelming season last year, but I feel like individually I had a decent year, and I feel like this year we've added the pieces that we need to make a better run than last year.
What do you think went wrong last year?
I think what went wrong last year was that we did not have a lot of guys who loved the game of basketball. I feel like this year, even some guys from last year that maybe didn't love the game last year have got a love for the game. Last year we had kids late to practice, not showing up to practice. I feel like this year we have more guys that are just going to show up and get the job done every day.
All right, and give me a scouting report on you. Everybody says you're a shooter.
So yeah, I'm a pretty good shooter. I also play a little bit of the one. In the past, last year, I had a much more of a scoring role because I didn't have many scorers around me. I think that this year, the most exciting part for me is how I've improved my playmaking ability.
A lot of guys aren't willing to say, oh, I was the guy last year. Everybody came to me, I got all the shots, and now everyone's talking about you have a lot of shooters and you're going to spread the ball, and you seem okay with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely perfectly okay with it. For me, I just want to win just like everybody else at this table, and I think that's what it's going to take for us to win. We need other players that are able to score the ball, put the ball in the basket, and I think that me coming back, also giving us an extra person that can put the ball in the basket helps us a lot.
Sounds like you guys are loaded with talent, but talent doesn't always win games. I mean, if you go out and you don't play well and the other team does, anything can happen. But what's it going to take for this team to go out and achieve its goals?
I think that what it's going to take for us to achieve our goals is coming into practice every day, focused and locked in. We've had a basketball trainer in the area, Reggie Lewis, come in and work with us for a couple weeks, and I feel like he's helped show us like hard work, how to come in, work hard, how to be a family, and how to improve our game every day.
Give me your goals for the year.
Individually, of course, I want to win Conference Player of the Year. I want to be first team again. I'm not really too much worried about that, mainly just worried about making a playoff run. I really want to win the CVC. I really want to beat all these teams on our schedule.
All right. Good luck to you this year. Braylon, on to you. Grab that microphone and same thing. Introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and position.
My name is Braylon Ian. I'm a senior in high school, and I could play any position coach needs me to.
Braylon, I know you from the track world and all the success you had there, and obviously you're not running quite as far on the basketball court, but I have to imagine your speed and quickness helps you out on the basketball court.
Yeah, it definitely does, especially on the defensive end.
And Coach is talking about your defensive prowess. What is it about defense you like?
Just trying to get aggressive. I love playing hard, and I'm trying to get the ball.
We got all these shooters at the table, and you're the guy they're going to look to keep the other team from scoring. You've got that role, and how eager are you to accept it and go out and play well for your teammates?
I'll do anything for these guys. I'll do anything to win.
At practice, you get to defend these guys. How difficult is it?
It can definitely be hard, but it's hard for them too.
Well, yeah, you got some familiarity, so you know the moves. But yeah, just from a general perspective, though, they're pretty tough to guard.
Yeah.
When you look at this team, I mean, we've talked a lot about the offense. Talk about the defense. What's the engine? I mean, you obviously have a big part of that, but what makes that defense work so well?
We're all very aggressive. We're trying to press and get the ball.
Knowing the schedule that you guys play, what's it going to take for you to just every night go out and play consistently?
Good practices, really, because last year we didn't have too many good practices before games, and that really affected the game. So if we could get it right in practice, we could do it in the game.
Talk about some of your teammates, specifically on the defensive side, the guys that are giving that. We've talked a lot about shooters, but let's talk about some defenders. Who are the guys that...
Definitely Marquise. He was the quarterback of the football team. He's very aggressive.
Pinckney?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very aggressive, a great defender. Moore, he plays very good defense. More of a big.
Okay. What are you looking to accomplish from your own perspective this year?
Last year I was honorable mention, so definitely trying to get first team this year, and I want to win districts.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Good luck to you. All right, Coach, back to you. And, you know, it's always good to hear from the players and then have the coach kind of respond to what he heard. But, you know, how satisfying is it? You hear everything a coach wants to hear. They're playing for their teammates. They want to win. They want to do everything they can. How nice is that as a coach to hear?
No, it's great. It's been a challenging season, and so unfortunately I had some health issues. I had surgery a few weeks ago and missed a little bit of time, and so my staff and my older son came in and helped coach, and so we picked it up. Last year was a tough year. We learned a lot. We went out and played Perry, and I was so impressed with how well they were coached and how hard those kids played. And we're at practice today, and I said to one of my assistants, we're playing harder in practice than we ever played in the game last year. And so we're pushing these guys, they're responding. While I've had no doubt that we'll be able to score points, about 75% of our practice has been devoted to defense. It doesn't matter what you can score if you can't stop anybody. So, I'm proud of these guys. And so there's egos here, and my main message is they got to trust each other. If these three guys to my left can trust each other, I think the sky's the limit for what we can be. And again, we're kind of we're under the radar of a lot of different teams, but I think we have great potential, and I think, we could look up 3 weeks into the season and people are going to be like, Beechwood is awake again. And so we're kind of done talking, and it's just a matter of just going out there and again, we're starting out with a schedule that probably rivals anybody in the state to get started with. And so we've had a pretty tough scrimmage schedule. We've got we're in a 4-way scrimmage on Saturday that's brutal. There's no short path to success, and so you've got to put in the work. And these guys are working hard. We've had some injuries, but we're overcoming it. And again, I'm excited for this year. I've said it to the team. I've said it to the parents. In my 4th year, this is the team I most want to coach. We're loaded. We've got the personalities. We've got 9 seniors. We're going to probably go 9 deep. I'm looking forward to a great year.
It sounds like you have everything rolling, and it just comes down to, like you said, there's some ego, but they seem to manage that pretty well. And
most days. Again, you got 2 guys that are ready to wrestle each other for MVP of the conference. And so, but at the end of the day, I truthfully believe they want to get the W more than anything else. And I'm a big believer that if the team has success, individual success will follow that.
Absolutely.
And so these guys, they've worked hard. They're going to continue to work hard. And again, I like this team. And so I wouldn't. I would, look, Richmond Heights, until somebody displaces them, is clearly the favorite. And, Chagrin Falls, again, we're going to show up, and I'm not saying we're going to win those games, but they're going to know they had a battle. I promise you that.
It's definitely going to be fun to watch. That Chagrin division is brutal. All right, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all making the trip out here, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
All right, that was the Beechwood Bison boys basketball team here at CVC Winter Sports Media. Up next, we've got the Beachwood Wrestling team. And then after Beechwood, we will have the Hawken Wrestling team to close the night out. Once again, CVC TV is presented by Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Take a moment to get a message from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the Beachwood Wrestling team.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
All right, welcome back to Kirtland High School for the 2022 CVC Winter Sports Media Day. This is our 3rd of 4. We will close out our Media Day tour on Monday at Edgewood High School. But today we're going to finish things up here at Kirtland with a couple of wrestling teams. Up first, we've got Beechwood, followed by Hawken. Beechwood head coach Jimmy Greenwood. Coach, thanks for coming out and bringing the guys. Go ahead and introduce the wrestlers you brought with us, and then give us a little scouting report. What can we expect out of your team this year?
All right.
You're on? Yep.
Okay. To my direct left, this is Ayush. This is Drew, and my older boy Josh, Shane, and then Eric. Let's see, what can I expect? Well, I expect a lot of big things out of these guys. I got a nice little group of seniors. My 215-pounder, Uzana Nzikwe, he couldn't be here tonight, returning CVC champ. Right now, I believe he's currently
and
top
a beast.
5 or so.
Yep,
Yeah,
he's a beast.
An animal. Yeah, that's why my neck's a little stiff right now. But yeah, I expect big things out of these guys. I'm expecting them to get to the big show. As you know, we moved down to D3. Got a couple guys on the rankings, so I'm excited. You know, these guys, they all owe me conference titles, so I better get them all too. So
I like it. The gauntlet has been thrown. I like it. All right, Coach, I'm going to come back to you for a recap after we talk to your guys, but let's pass that mic right to your left. And just for the folks at home, go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
My name is Ayush Brigavanch. I'm a senior, and I'm going to wrestle at either 190 or 215.
So Ayush coming in, Coach has got some expectations for this team. You think this team is ready to meet those expectations?
Yeah, I think we're ready to prove what we want. You know, we're working hard every day at practice. I think it'll show this season.
Coming in as a senior, what kind of success have you had so far?
Well, personally, this is really my first year getting on the mat. Last year I had ankle injury, so it kind of restricted me, but this is my first year coming onto the mat.
All right, so you've got to have a whole lot of excitement and just getting out there. What are you feeling heading into the senior year, knowing it's your last year of high school wrestling?
I'm excited. I'm also a little sad, you know, it's my last year wrestling, but I'm ready to win and get out there.
What kind of goals do you have for the year?
To win, and win some more.
You got a lot of guys on the team, a lot of big guys too, and having you know, a conference champion in there, and he's a guy that you can't take a second off because he'll hurt you. And how does that help you become better? Just having some great drill partners like that.
I think having a partner like him, you know, he really pushes you to be better because, you know, if you're not better, then like you said, in a second he'll put you on your back and there you are gasping for air. And they'll punish you if you're not careful around him. So
that he will.
It really sharpens us as a team and individually.
Good. Without naming any of the guys here, because we're going to talk to them, who are some of the other guys in the wrestling room that have impressed you?
I think upcoming freshman Caleb Greenwood definitely has a lot to prove this year, and I think he will. I mean, the team is a lot younger than, I'd say, older. Jacob Goldman also, good guy. He has a lot of experience. So I think this year he's hungry and he's ready to prove what he has.
All right, sounds good. Good luck to you. Pass that mic on to your left, and same thing. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
My name's Drew Kalen. I'm a senior, and I'm going 190 this year.
190. So a lot of big guys, Coach. And I remember when it was all little guys at Beechwood, and you were missing a lot of the big guys.
It's kind of funny. All of these guys, Drew was a 132-pounder as a freshman. So 132 and 190, let's just say we lived in the weight room a little bit.
I was going to credit Chipotle, but that's
that too.
I figure. Yeah. My kids love Chipotle. I can't stand it. But. All right, so Drew, growing up from 132 to 190, I mean, that changes your style of wrestling a little bit. You can't do all those things you did when you were a little 132-pounder. How different is your style now?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very similar to how I was at 132.
Really?
I still try to, you know, throw people, go to my back, and then throw them over. I mean, I've gotten stronger, so the coaches are really trying to work with me to like more so pick people up and like use my strength as much as like being a defensive wrestler and then to using their power and then flip them or something like that. So, I mean, I'm still kind of in the same style, but I'm still trying to grow as a wrestler for sure.
Do you still have the same speed you had as a 32?
I don't know about that, but I'm working on it.
There you go. What's going to be different, you know, being a bigger guy now? I mean, you have to know when you're wrestling the big guys, one false move and it could be over. So how do you approach that now, knowing that, you know, as a 32, you can wiggle your way out of something. You make a mistake, but with those big dudes, man, it's tough to get up from the bottom.
Yeah, I think most of the drilling and training that we're doing right now is to prepare me for that. I'd say more so that not only like because I've come from 132 to 190, I'm still trying to grow wrestling-wise. So as I'm making the switch in my wrestling ethics, I guess, and how I'm doing it, I'm trying to, like you said, like know how to critique my wrestling so that I can be prepared for those bigger guys and like stronger guys.
Who are your drill partners? Who you like to work with?
Josh Greenwood, Eric, Ayush, Shane, we're all like kind of similar weights. Uzana, so we're all trying to get better together. So
Uzana, is he the ringleader? He's the guy that...
He's the biggest guy, I can tell you that.
He still stands at the top of the hill right now.
Yes.
All right. What kind of goals do you have for yourself this year?
Personally, I've missed, well, let's see, my freshman year, I had a back injury. I missed the sectional tournament. Sophomore year, I wasn't able to wrestle because of COVID, and then last year I got COVID, and then mono. So I've missed a lot.
So you just want to get on the mat.
Yeah, exactly. But team-wise, I think we have a lot of potential. We have a big freshman group, a big leader group for the seniors, 6 seniors. I mean, we could be very special this year, for sure.
It's been a while since Beechwood's had one of those teams. They've had a lot of good individuals, and but yeah, it's been
lots of talent.
Outstanding. All right, good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
Josh, go ahead and grab that microphone, and same thing. Introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
Hi, I'm Josh Greenwood.
Flip that black switch up on there. There you go.
Josh Greenwood. I'm a 12th grader, and I'll be wrestling 157 this year.
All right, so coming in, you're one of the small guys at the table, but you get to work out with these guys. How nice is it now that you have so many workout partners that can push you?
It's really good. I've had like problems like when, particularly the COVID year, I didn't really have a lot of workout partners because he was my #1. So it was great to have him back in the room.
What do you bring to the mat? What's your style? How do you like to wrestle?
I'm a very open, free wrestler. Wrestling from space, and unless I get close to your body, and I'm slamming you, man.
I like it. Good. All right. And, you know, coming in, you know, Beechwood's got this long history. They've had a lot of state champions, a lot of state place winners, but it's been a while since the team has collectively done much. How nice is it to look around and have so many quality wrestlers in the room that can help the team do some big things as a unit?
It's great to have like a really good team, especially with this group of seniors, and our underclassmen are really promising at this time. So I'm really just looking forward to seeing how everything pans out, especially in CVCs. I think we might have a chance.
You got an athletic director that's a big-time wrestling fan. How much does that help? Is he taking you down in the hallways and stuff, just keeping you on your toes?
Yeah, he's always keeping us on our toes, making sure we're getting everything done in the classroom and on the wrestling mat.
All right, give me some guys not at the table that have impressed you so far.
So far, guys that have impressed me, it's Jacob Goldman has definitely impressed me a lot. He's came so far since being a freshman, and his junior year is going to really show it. Also, my little brother, Caleb Greenwood, he's been doing great. He's spent a lot of time in the wrestling room this summer. So,
all right.
Kind of late.
What are your goals for the year?
My goals, I just want to win a state championship this year, and we're going to do everything in our power to make it happen.
Outstanding. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, pass that on. Same thing. Name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
Shane Fowler, senior, going 165.
All right, Shane, big group of seniors. I mean, you guys have known each other for years. How much does that help, just knowing that you got all these guys you've known for so many years, and you go in the wrestling room, and you know sometimes you piss each other off, but at the end of the day, you're still teammates and friends. How much does that help you just kind of grow as a wrestler?
It helps a lot. You know, a lot of these guys I grew up wrestling with since like middle school. I wrestled with Drew since like 7th grade. Wrestled with Eric since 8th. Yeah, you know Josh since he hasn't been here yet. He ain't here since like high school. And I just just really good friends.
Good. And just when you look at that impact of that friendship, and you don't want to let your friends down. So how much does that help the team, just knowing that, hey, we're all friends, so if I got my friends back and my teammates back, we're going to do some great things together.
Yeah, we just have very high expectations for each person. So.
CVC's a really good wrestling league, has been forever, and so when you go out, whether it's a CVC duel or a CVC tournament, you got to be ready, because a lot of those guys you're going to see in the sectional district and state tournament. How much does that help, just having so many caliber wrestlers around you in your schedule?
I think it just helps prepare me to know for what's coming later in the season. It's just going to be a lot of tough guys, and we're just going to have to train harder, work harder, and just.
What are your individual goals for the year? What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm trying to aim for the moon, win states, go far.
It's always the goal. I like it. All right. Good luck to you, sir. Pass that on. Last but not least, and then just go ahead and same thing. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
Eric Seckner. I'm a senior, and I'm going to go 175 this year.
Eric, you've been wrestling 9 through 12?
I've been wrestling since 8th grade.
Okay, so the whole high school career, though, for sure. Okay. How have you grown as a wrestler from 9th to starting this year?
I've put on a little bit of weight. The biggest change that I've gone through is, just from spending the time in the weight room, right? Like we started this week. We're in the weight room 3 times a week in the morning, so that's definitely contributed to my growth and the growth of our team as well. Like you said earlier, our team has definitely, grown physically as well as technically on the mat.
So, Coach, is making you get up early, come to school, and work out before school? Oh, Coach, I like it.
Oh yeah, these guys work real hard, but it's only because they have high expectations.
Hey, they're there. That's what I'm impressed with.
I ask them, I say, what do you want? And they tell me what they want, and I just facilitate it. I make it happen.
We had a girls basketball team that they're practicing in the morning before school, and it's because they had like the late hour, and the kids were like, man, we don't want to go home and do so like, well, you want to practice before school? Yeah, absolutely. So they're in at 5:30 practicing, and hey, whatever it takes, you got to do it. Success.
I'm super excited. I mean, these guys, sometimes they beat me to the school. Like, I'm like, hey, they're like, Coach, where are you? I'm like, it starts at 7. And it's like 6:45. I should just give them my keys.
You got to love it as a coach. But what drives that? Why do you guys want to get up early and go to school and work out? What drives that?
I think a lot of it is the competitiveness in the room, like between ourselves. Like we compete with each other, right? Who can put up more weight? Who can win in our goes? But I think it really just builds like a chemistry in the room, like where we're all working to improve ourselves, but we also care about how our teammates perform, and just improving ourselves individually as well as a team cohesively.
We've talked a lot about the history of Beachwood Wrestling, the success that they've had over the years. Mm-hmm. You can add a chapter to that. What do you hope people remember about you?
Senior year, so it's time to leave it all out there. Nothing to lose. I'm just hoping to go out and do the best that I can do. For Beechwood specifically, we've gone through a bit of a drought for state placers. I think it's been since 2016. So this year, we're hoping to change that. Especially with the change to Division III. We definitely have good chances of several of us sitting at this table making appearances at the state championship.
Great to see. I hope you guys can do it. All right, Coach, back to you just for a quick recap. I got to love it. I mean, I'm a big wrestling guy, so coming in and hearing these guys talk, I miss that stuff, that bond you have with your teammates. It's special. I still talk to a bunch of my guys from high school, and it's always the same. We still do the same stupid stuff we did then to pick on each other, and but you have each other's back, and it's such a great sport for that because it does so much for you that later in life you guys will realize that, man, all those days in the wrestling room, as hard as it was, the things you had to overcome, you'll be a better person because of it. And Coach knows, but fantastic.
That's why we do it.
Absolutely.
That's why we do it. I assure you, it's not the paycheck.
Yeah.
I think I lose money.
I think so too.
I don't even mind saying it. This is a very special group. It's a special year for our program. Like you said, I've been friends with a lot of our Beechwood AD, his brother Scott Peters. These guys really were instrumental in my growth and development at some point or another, and still. So when I think of Beachwood Wrestling and I look at this group, I'm excited for the fire that they're going to bring every single time. I know a couple years ago, we had a nice group of kids and they made a nice deep state duels run. I don't know if, I know the system has changed a little bit, but I'm going to just put it out there, and I don't want it to sound hubris. I just want everybody to be on notice and be ready. If you put your foot on that line, I promise you, you will not see any stalling calls from this side of the mat. We're going to take it to people, and we're going to punish them. We're going to pin them, and then we're going to smile at them and shake their hands.
And hand them some orange slices.
That's right, because these guys work too hard to give up a takedown. I'm watching it. It's almost to a point where I could sit back and blow the whistle a little bit, but I get excited. My blood gets boiling. That's probably why my neck's hurting right now. And the funny part is, this, my 215 kind of set it off, but, we got some young guys in the room that are highly competitive. Some of these guys have wrestled at national tournaments coming into high school. So I'm really excited. I mean, and then I'm looking at my 7th and 8th graders. I mean, it's not going to get easier, you know. That drought is over, and I'll be the first to say it. That drought is over, and I'm super excited to sit back and get all squirmy in the chair and scream like a maniac. But I'm not going to do any predictions. I'm just going to say we're going to bring the heat, and I'm really excited to see it all unfold.
Well, I have to tell you, regardless of what happens with these guys, and I hope you guys achieve all your goals, but regardless of all that, you have to take a lot of pride in what you're building, because when you started a few years ago, it was lean.
Oh, man, you know...
just to see this number of guys sitting at a table and knowing you have more guys in the room.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, they're lucky that those 7th and 6th graders are still back a little bit, because, I mean, I got middle schoolers and 6th graders that have already made state tournaments, and they're chomping at the bit. You know, I got a kid right now in this room who's in 7th grade who was wrestling a varsity starter today.
Jeez.
You know, I mean, they were doing open mat, but still, you know, it's exciting. You know, some of these guys that are coming up through the system, I can look back. I remember, I teach at the middle school. I remember seeing all these guys in middle school, pulling them out of the hallway, you know, harassing them, and look at them now. You know,
it's awesome.
It's fun. It's exciting. They're good kids. All of these guys are going to college, you know, and regardless of whether they wrestle or not, I know I've raised some good boys here. You know, of course, with the help of their parents, but you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And it makes me feel proud looking at a guy like Ayush. You know, guy broke his ankle and stayed with the team every single day, came to every single practice. You know, that says something about him and his character.
Yep.
I mean, this guy Drew, you know, he asked me as a freshman what's something he could do to improve his wrestling. I said, get some horsepower, baby. And 132, that's 60 pounds of muscle you're looking at. You know, in 4 years, COVID couldn't keep him down. I mean, this guy's an animal. You know, even my baby boy, I mean, my middle boy right there, you know, he came in about midway through the school year as a freshman, didn't have the freshman year he wanted, you know, and I mean, now it's like, wow, you know, I'm excited. You know, it's fun to watch. I don't want to touch some of these guys anymore. Then look at Shane, you know, this guy tore his knee as a freshman, like full tear, never stopped. Came in one day and was like, Coach, I'm going to just see how many push-ups I can do. You know, and I just kind of laughed. You know, and then Eric, I mean, what can I say? Middle school state qualifier, right? And now he's got to finish and cap it off again as a state placer. He's got to one-up it, though, now. And I'm proud of these guys. And like you said, no matter how the season goes, the dubs and the L's go, you know, hopefully not too many. I got to tell you, man, I'm excited. I mean, I wake up every day fired up. You know, they got me
rightly so. Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about for sure.
So now I'm about to put the challenge out there. Right now we got a pull-up contest going from the youth all the way up to the high school. Right now I'm winning. I got 20. I got 20 straight. So who's gonna beat me? I don't think nobody's gonna beat me. Because when they do 20, I'm gonna do 21. And so on. So
well, I'm surprised you stopped at 20. You always got to do 21. Like,
well, you know, I got to give them enough where they can get close to it and then take it.
Yep.
This guy tried to outlift me the other day in the weight room. I had to show him. Big dog's still here. All right, go Bison.
All right, Coach, I appreciate it, gentlemen. Appreciate you being here, and hope you have a great season, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that was the Beachwood Bison wrestling team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day. And now to wrap things up here at Kirtland High School, we've got the Hawken Hawks.
I'm sorry, Coach. I got a heavyweight for you. I'm working on
New head coach, Victor Ventresca, joining us here at Media Day.
Hey, so wrestle bike.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy your time. Wasn't that fun?
Hawken Hawks wrapping things up here at Media Day. Coach, slide that way just a little bit. We had a big group that came in with, I think, 6 girls, so they brought a couple extra chairs, but just so you're somewhere in the middle here. But all right, Coach, welcome to the CVC. Another new head coach here. Always fun to talk to the new guys, but go ahead and introduce the wrestlers you brought with you, and then give us a little overview of what you've seen out of your team here in the short time you've had them. Grab that mic, there's a little black switch. Flip that up, there you go.
Thanks for having us tonight. We just came from our pitcher day. We had a practice, we had some fun tonight. We had a friend of ours come in, Don Moxley, former Ohio State wrestler, one of my teammates. And so we're wrapping it up here with you, and we appreciate the time.
Sure.
We're in a building year, but I've got two of our wrestlers here that also are football players and as well as a baseball player. Lucas, why don't you grab that mic too? I'm going to have you introduce yourself.
We'll get to them. You can just introduce them now, and then, yeah,
Lucas Bryant is going to be a junior this year, and very excited about his future. He's had some hardships and setbacks that he's overcome, coming off of a football season that they were in the playoffs in, and so we haven't had a lot of time on the mat. I think you passed for 1,700 yards this year or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Pretty pleased about that, and a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. And
well aware of his baseball exploits.
But today we're here for wrestling. I've got Will Greenberg, who's a sophomore this year. I think Will's had, you had about what, last year, about 30 matches? One match away from making it in the blood round to state. And so we have short time. I'm a recent hire. I'm pretty excited about this team. I think there's a rich tradition of wrestling in Hawken. That hit tournament's been around for what, about 50 years, guys?
Yep.
Something like that. And so we have 7 guys on our team. It's a ground floor building process. And you know, my background, I'm a Northeast Ohio guy. I went to Mayfield High School, wrestled there. I had a brief college career at Ohio State and John Carroll as far as wrestling goes. But I've been in coaching and martial arts for the last about 20 years. And I did coach a couple times in high school, but this is a great opportunity for me to be at a high level and a ground floor. We had some good coaches at Hawken in the past. We're trying to get that youth program built up. But right now it's about evaluating what we have and then educating for where we're going and then trying to execute. It's kind of my motto with my training business. And I think so far we got a good head start with that. So.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned it. Hawkins always had, lately they've had low numbers, but it was quality. You know, the kids they had on the team were all quality wrestlers. Couple of multi-time state qualifiers that have come through the doors, and Will, you came close last year. But yeah, so quality over quality over quantity right now. But as you grow, hopefully you'll add a few more numbers and get that thing going. But that's where it starts. But always good to have quality first.
I agree, and you know, let's turn it over to these guys, give them an opportunity to talk about some things, and
sure
come back and revisit.
Absolutely, Lucas, go ahead and grab that microphone and make sure that switches up. And then just for the folks at home, introduce yourself, name, grade, and what weight you plan to wrestle.
Lucas Brandt. I'm an 11th grader, and I plan to wrestle 157.
So Lucas coming in, we already know football, baseball, you've excelled at those sports, you've done quite well for yourself, and now it's your turn to shine on the mat. What led you here? I mean, I don't remember you from last year. Were you out?
Yeah, I mean, I've been wrestling for a while, pretty much my whole life actually, but I have had a medical issue over the past 2 years where I really haven't gotten to have a full high school season yet. I wrestled in the first 2 meets my freshman year and then was shut down and was not able to wrestle until a week before the sectional tournament last year. So okay. I really haven't had much of a high school career to this point.
Yeah, because I didn't see you coming through like the early tournament stuff. But
something I'd like to add about last year, following the program, I've been working with Will. Will played football this year also as a middle guard, and now we're going to bring his weight down. When you're going to ask what weight class he is, he's going to be a little lighter. We both made a little pact on coaches losing weight. In fact, we may be the only 2 losing weight on our team right now, right? But Lucas, I saw a match last year, one of his comeback matches, where it was a match I could explain as being what you want to see when someone has a sense of a desire and a sense of wanting to perform, and you know, it's called heart, right? So if you're at Hawken, you want to wrestle, right? It's not like something to do, and but this guy had a match that you know, brought me to tears just about, and it's just overcoming. You know, conditioning wasn't there. We don't have to talk about his medical issues, but it was something that was found out that needed to be remedied. And here's a guy that just exemplifies hard work and dedication and discipline. I don't want to build you up too much, but you're one of my heroes, right? Will also one of my young heroes, because we're going morning practices. We're doing things that are going to put us in the right place. And I have to put a governor on these two sometimes, just to hold them back a little bit. But I wanted just to say that
sure.
He hasn't had a lot of experience on the varsity level, but he's certainly deserving of it.
Right. Well, Lucas, after you pitched that no-hitter in the playoffs last year, we talked a little bit about your medical issues and what you overcame. So if anyone wants to follow up on that, great story. Just Google or search for him on the Chagrin Valley Conference website, and you can read all about what he's already overcome. And now he's back on the mat. Hopefully get that full season in. How exciting is it just to know you're going in and you got a chance to kind of do what you wanted to do the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I love the sport of wrestling. I think it's really fun. I love challenging myself. It's a really difficult sport, and it's something I've missed for the past 2 years. I'm really excited to get back into it.
Coming in, obviously, coaching changes. He's probably coaching a little bit differently than Mark did. And how's that going with the guys? Everybody kind of settling in, getting used to things now?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think anytime you bring in a new guy, he has slightly different opinions, but that can be a good thing because you're learning new things, learning things a different way, a different spin on the same stuff. So I think it's added a level of excitement to the room that is new, and I think it's good.
And from your own perspective, coming out, you've had a full preseason, you're going to have hopefully a full season. So settling in for yourself, what's it going to take for you to get out there and do what you want to do now that you know that everything else is kind of coming together for you?
Yeah, I mean, I just got to enjoy the process every day, coming in, working hard in practice. I mean, just controlling what I can control, like working hard in practice, drilling hard, going live, conditioning, lifting, just doing all that, and then I think the results will come, but I just got to stay committed to the process.
Small team kind of limits the number of workout partners you get, but hopefully you have some quality guys there. Talk about some of the other guys on the team that are wrestling around with you on the mat.
Yeah, we have we're small in numbers, but I think we have a lot of guys on the team that really enjoy being there and enjoy putting in the work, which is a good thing because I think that when we have that type of environment in the room that elevates everyone else and pushes everyone. We do the majority of our team outside of Will and I are all new to the sport, but that just, I mean, that's like going back to like learning through like the basic stuff, foundational things of wrestling is super important even for guys who are more experienced. So getting that kind of fresh look back towards the basics because the new guys have to learn it as well, I think is really valuable.
When you have a limited number of drill partners and you said those other guys are kind of inexperienced, that really pushes you to work harder in practice because you're not getting it from the other guys quite as much. How do you make up for that? How do you compensate for that lack of quality drill partners? I imagine you're wrestling around up a few weight classes there with Will.
Let me take that.
Sure.
I mean, it's a fair question, not to cut you off, but like I said, we're a small group. These guys were in football, they were in the playoffs. We haven't had a lot of time together. We got in our room, maybe we've had 3 practices, right? That's it. So some of the questions are still being figured out, right? So the answers are going to be written as we go. One of the things, and we'll get to Will and his explanation of things, because we're a small group, as far as the state, the rules go, we can travel to other schools. And we've, through my contacts and through Jim Doyle's, the athletic director at Hawken, we have some doors open. We may be at Beechwood School. We may be, there's about a handful of schools that we have communicated with. So we're gonna use that to our advantage. We'll be able to go to different schools and get different partners as necessary. But getting really back to simplicity. Competition, iron sharpens iron. But I'm really a big believer, with my background in combat sports, that you have to do things right. And if you're going to, reevaluate the basics, we have to slow things down. Train slow to learn fast. So that's kind of where we are on that note. And we'll continue to write that story as we as we feel that it's going to be good for the kids.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's always great to get out there and wrestle with the other school. I always love that. You know, you go to another school and scrimmage and see some different guys for a change. You know, if you got a good drill partner to beat your head in a little bit, you get a little reprieve. And otherwise, you get to beat some dudes up from another school. So it's always nice. Lucas, what kind of goals do you have for your senior year here?
I just want to make it as far as I can, help all my teammates reach their full potential by pushing them in practice, drilling hard. I want to compete to win the CVC. I want to compete to make it down to the state tournament.
All right, looking forward to seeing you this year. Good luck to you. All right, Will, on to you. Make sure that black switch is up and just introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and weight class.
I'm Will Greenberg.
And wait, I think we need a drum roll for the weight class since Coach set it up. Go ahead.
I will be wrestling heavyweight this year, and I'm a sophomore.
And what are we talking about weight cutting? How much weight are you dropping?
It really depends. I just want to get more lean and still be able to put on more muscle, just so I can take myself to the next level and move on to more of be as elite as possible.
And you had a great year last year. Unfortunately, that blood round, it's brutal, but you learned it the hard way. But that experience, you know, knowing you got there and you were so close to making it to state, how much did that kind of light that fire under you to work harder in the off season and prepare for this senior year run?
Yeah, so I think last year I had some great components to my training and all that, but looking back to it, I realized there was other key components that I wasn't really working on, like my nutrition and the mental game and stuff like that. So I would get super nervous. I wasn't really eating that healthy, but I was still able to compete as a freshman against, at the heavyweight division. So I still believe in all the hard work I've put in. I've been able to take myself to the next level and been working even harder, and so yeah.
Now I want you to help sell wrestling to those football players who say, "Oh, I'm gonna take the winter off and work out." How does wrestling help you become a better football player?
It basically, I've made this speech 100 times. It makes you. It first of all puts you in the best shape of your life, especially coming from football. A lot of standing around. Wrestling's more go, 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 go. And then there's the flexibility component, your ability to even move, when you're just running somewhere. And then even shooting a double leg, it gives you better tackling form and more used to getting in there with people. And yeah.
Do you take notice of when they talk about the NFL players who wrestled in high school and the high number of guys that do that? And
yeah.
It's weird how that happened. And I imagine you're still hitting the weight room, right?
Oh yeah.
See,
yeah.
So you're wrestling and hitting the weight room.
Yeah.
And you're eating better.
Yes.
And you're developing balance and stamina and hand fighting. Why don't more football players wrestle?
The honest answer is, I mean, our room would be full if it was easy. It's a super hard
and
sport.
there it is. There it is.
It takes a really tough guy to just get in the wrestling room as a new guy, and that's why I have so much respect for all our new guys in the room this year.
Yep. And a little anecdote, I talked to a former Kirtland wrestler who is now a Navy diver. And I talked to him right after he graduated from Navy diving school. He had graduated from Kirtland, went to Navy diving school, and he said there were 130, 150 guys that started the class.
Yeah.
They got down to 19, and out of those 19, 17 of them were high school wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, why do you think that is? And he said, because everyone there at diving school, they were badasses. They were strong, they loved to work out, they did all that stuff. But it was the mental toughness that they developed as wrestlers that made the difference for them in that Navy diving school. And so I'll never understand. I understand if a football player is also a basketball player, go play basketball. But if you're spending the winter just lifting weights, well, you're doing it wrong. And I think you're missing the boat by not getting out there and wrestling. So kudos to you for doing that. What do you prefer? You like football or wrestling better?
The thing I like wrestling better because I love that it's on you. So you're the only one out there. It's it really builds yourself, like, you build your individual confidence, because you have to be able to, like, figure out things on your own, and that's why. And I mean, opposed to football, you know, it's I love like the team aspect of football, but I love about wrestling. It's just like the grind, and like you're on your own, and you don't have to worry about other people, and you're just self accountability, and you don't have to worry about others. So,
You're 100% right. We had Harvey Wrestling in here earlier, and they had a girl on the team, Melanie Herrera, and I talked to her 2 years ago. She had just started wrestling, and they had that girls' state tournament, and she was going down there. And so I interviewed her, and then I saw her tonight, and what a different person she is. She's now more confident. Like, she was whispering on the phone. I could barely hear her. And now I hear she's like, hey, I'm here, you know, I'm Melanie. It's like, you're a completely different person. And I asked her, I said, how has wrestling helped you? She said, oh, I'm so much more confident. I can't believe I can do these things. And it's just amazing what this sport can do for you. So it's awesome. And I know we've talked a lot more about wrestling than you, so let's get back to you. But, you know, coming in after the year you had last year, obviously you want to take that next step, and you've put the work in. What's it going to take for you to reach all your goals this year?
You know, I've always been able to like keep up physically and all like lifting and all the workouts. It's just like the extra push I have to give myself, and the mentality when I want to give up, and I'd be like, this is where I want to be, this is how I have to get there. And, you know, also the other components like the mental game and like nutrition and things like that. So, yeah.
Does it help as a big guy? Because like a lot of big guys in wrestling, you know, a lot of wrestling coaches aren't big guys.
Yeah.
Like Mark, you know, Mark was there. He wasn't exactly a big guy, so he was great for your mid weights and lower weights. He'll get out there. How is it having a coach there that can get out there and scrap with you?
Talk about our.
Oh yeah. We have another coach. He's our assistant coach who I work out with. His name's Will Lindsay. He was a graduate,
I know Will, yeah.
a couple years ago. I've been fortunate enough that he's been able to come in the room and work out with me every day and every practice. So he really pushes me all the time because he knows like what it takes to get to that level.
Absolutely, he's been there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, his senior year got canceled. Who knows what happened?
Yep,
but,
he was good.
Yeah,
he was fun to watch.
Yeah.
They had a few kids that year. Like I said, Hawkins had quality over quantity, and you know, hopefully you guys can fill that gap. Talk about some of the other guys on the team that kind of made a name for themselves, even though they're a little bit inexperienced.
Yeah, so we got 3 new freshmen. We have JP Hours, we have Nick Hayes, we have Brendan Keeley. Nick and Brendan are brand new, but I've seen them already in the room. Like, they're working hard. They've came to extra practices. They're always on time. They're always like doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I really feel like those two really push themselves a lot. And then JP, he's more of an experienced wrestler, and we're lucky that he's been able to like work with those two and show them the ways. And then we got Moise Perez. He's a senior this year. He's a returner. He had a good year last year, just building off that year, and he really pushes himself a lot in the room, so that's good. And then we got a new senior this year. His name's Sean. He's like working super hard in the room, and I'm excited to see what is in the future for him.
Outstanding. Well, good luck to you this year.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Well, first year, I know you come in. Every coach has this vision of all these great things they want to accomplish. But as you know, you've got a lot of young kids. You got to kind of walk before you can run. How are you balancing all that? You got some guys that you need to push and get some work, but you also have those inexperienced guys that need to learn the ropes. How do you balance all of that?
A lot of philosophy, but basically it's simple, right? Wrestling's it's a combat sport. It's about movement. It's about being fluent. It's about being able to finish things. And I think getting body awareness, I'm going to take a little different approach. I mean, obviously I was a later hire. And I'm excited when we start talking about some of the new guys, and even these 2 gentlemen right here. Our guys are going to be gentlemen, right? They're going to be good sportsmen, but we're going to pressure. Right? We're going to learn to pressure. We're going to learn to be persistent. We're going to keep things simple, work on the things that we're weakest at, and make those into strengths. So, you know, as far as being positively optimistic, I am. But my job is to make this thing better than what I found it, and my job is to help these guys be able to reach their full potential. A lot of coaches can talk about, you know, titles and championships, and a lot of coaches think that's why they do this job. I'm doing this job just to help people become the best they can be. I think once we fall in love with that process, once we keep it really simple, and then we can, you know, have our conditioning, find our balances, be able to lay on the gas pedal a lot more and make things happen. That's what I'm excited about. I think that's the win. That's the win. Everything else comes in place with that.
Yeah. And you came into a great conference for wrestling, that's for sure. CVC is a quality wrestling conference. These guys, the guys are going to see in the CVC tournament, they're going to see the next 3 weeks as well. So great conference here. But yeah, that's Hawken Hawks wrestling team here, closing out our 2022 CVC Winter Sports Media Day, the 3rd of 4. So appreciate you gentlemen being here, and good luck to you this year.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Kirtland High School. That is 3 Media Day events down, 1 to go. It was scheduled for tomorrow at Thursday. Mother Nature changed that on us with this winter storm that's coming our way, so we made the decision early to cancel that and move it, to postpone that, and we moved it to Monday. So we'll close things out on Monday at Edgewood, and that will do it. And after that, it's all winter sports coverage, so we'll be moving along. But thanks, Coach. Nice to meet you. All right, and that's going to do it for us here from Kirtland High School. I'm Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. One more shout out to our sponsor, Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, and then it's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in, and good luck to all of our teams and coaches, and thanks for being here. And another shout out to Kirtland Athletic Director Matt Paul for hosting.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.